Welcome to the morning show. I'm not gonna play the whole intro. You know why? Because every time they say copyright claim, we own the rights to the song. It clearly says on the website free for use. I found it on our free for use website. It said give credit. Give credit. I got credit at the bottom left corner. It's there. They said no. I say no. Intro's not that important. I'm important. My name is Chill. He's important. That's Darius. We don't need no intro. If you want to send us an intro, by all means, but we're not going to use anyone's music who puts it on the internet, but also has the claim on the internet. Shh. Shh. You having a good morning?
I was. I had to go chase my dog down. That really irritated me this morning. So, yeah, that really irritated me. That's why we were, not why we were later than the late that we already were. But yeah, irritating, very irritating. But I'm better. It's a better morning. Better morning.
I was about to segue that into, you know who it wasn't a good morning for, but I'm not going to segue it into it that way. I'll segue this way. Someone mentioned it in chat earlier. Rest in peace to Terrence Stamp, the OG Zod, right? From Brother Stark.
Yes.
So that's one. There's two comes tomorrow, and then a third comes next week. That's how it works.
Oh, again, as I told you the last time, death doesn't give us the schedule of how they proceed in killing people. I don't know. I know the 007 guy, whoever he is, I don't know if he's an actor, writer, some director, I don't know, for 007, he passed. But I don't know. Who knows?
A person who worked on 007 who wasn't the actor. And then an actor. What's next? A music composer? And then we get their three? He said death comes in threes. Those were the rules.
Yeah, it does come in threes. I don't know why. Are you bringing this back up because you were proven wrong the last time and you're trying to hold another L? Or what is it that you're... Because...
No.
Oh, okay.
Death
I didn't
comes
know.
in threes.
Okay. Yes, death comes in threes.
You'll get the second and the third sometime later this week. We'll be here every weekday, and we'll begin with the death comes in threes. And then when they don't, he'll stretch and he'll be like, nah, that one counts, but that one doesn't count. It's Malcolm Jamal Warner and Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk Hogan. Those are counting. But like there was another guy who died also, so that was a fourth death, but he wasn't big enough, so it doesn't count. Death comes in threes.
No, I already proved this to you once. I'm not about to go through it again because I've proven it to you once.
You
but
never proved it.
Actually, I did. I gave you a I forget what it was. What was it? A month or something where I think three people died, then another people died. So to give credence to what you're trying to say there about, oh, well, that person didn't matter. Well, two other people died with that person that you were saying didn't matter with Hulk Hogan and the other. The only reason Hulk Hogan, Malcolm Jamal Warner, and the other were big were because of who they are as celebrities. There are three people that are going to die probably today that are regular Joes, just like you and I. And there are going to be three other people somewhere else that die just like regular Joes, just like you and I. But this person, because he's famous, he's going to get the pedestal, and then two other people that are also famous that are going to die are also going to get the pedestal. Death doesn't come in threes and just like, oh, three this month, three next month, three next month. It's three now, three could be 3 minutes later, three could be... That's how it works, brother. I don't work for death. I'm just telling you the patterns that we've all seen, the patterns that we kind of tried to explain to you the last time, that you had to hold that L again.
No, see, what you're telling me is that people die all the time. Well, any large quantity of number, 500 million and 4, can be divisible by 3, and you'll say, well, it's 3 in this state.
No,
got the 3
like I said, I don't make the rules. I just brought it up to you. I've seen it happen. It happens all the time. People die in threes.
People die all the time.
And then you choose to divide them into threes to make up your rule. The fact that it is even a thing, it's just what it is. You Google it. I didn't put it there. It's a conversation. People are talking about it. Did I start the conversation? No. I heard it from someone else who heard it from someone else who has watched the patterns, and I watched the patterns, and now the people that are in our chat have watched the patterns, and it just happens. People die in threes. I can't explain it to you more than what we've seen.
On any schedule.
On any schedule what?
They die on any schedule. Like there's no rule of it's got to be on the same year, same week, the people just die in threes.
People just die in threes. I didn't know death had a schedule.
Literally my point.
That doesn't prove your point though, because the death isn't scheduled. Like
Yeah, I know.
people dying in threes, it's not like a scheduled thing. It's just a
I know.
pattern. It's a phenomenon pattern. It just happens. I don't.
You make it a pattern by deselecting whose
No,
deaths recounts.
no. I'm not
Yes, you
making
do.
it a pattern. I'm not making it a pattern. I've watched it. I've seen it. It like I it just happened with your hero, Hulk Hogan, and Jamal Warner and whoever the fuck else died with them. It happened
When
with
my
them.
hero Hulk Hogan and Malcolm Jamal Warner died, there was about a week in between. Other people in the world died
Okay,
too.
I don't know why we're bringing this up because it's now frustrating me. If we were to go back to that stream where you brought it up the first time, I said when you said what you just said then, I don't know. He could die the person could be tomorrow, it could be next month, it could be next week, and it just so happened they died the next day. I don't know. I have no idea. It just happened. Like I said, I wasn't praying for a downfall of a celebrity. It just happened. I mean, it's just the patterns.
Okay.
It just happens.
Okay, 2 more celebrity deaths on the menu because deaths come in 3. We get the villain who played someone in Batman. We'll get the villain who played someone in Teen Titans. Then boom.
It could be you. Deaths come in threes.
How can I, like General Zod, what's his name? Terrence Stamp. How do we mix? How are we 1 and 2? We're so far apart.
So I am not going into a conversation with you that we have now been on for 7 minutes about death coming in threes. When we've had this conversation before, I've proven it before. As far as when I say proven it before, I've proven what is out there from the overall synopsis of the conversation being had about death coming in threes.
I know there's a saying.
There's no
It's a popular saying.
no. You wanted to have it, so now we're here. There is no.
I didn't
There's
say.
no
Wait,
concrete evidence. There's
what do you
nothing
mean
that I
you
can
wanted to
pull
have
from.
it?
There,
Listen,
we've been having this conversation now for 7 minutes. You brought it up. I said deaths come in threes. I don't know. Let it go. Then you kept going on and on and on. So now we're here. I have nothing that I can pull down as concrete evidence. I cannot go to Google and have somebody give me some scientific evidence. We can't go to YouTube and watch a 30-minute synopsis on somebody telling us, hey, here it is and how it's why and blah, 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 X, Y, and Z. And we can't watch an interview with death on the late night show. There's nothing we can do besides tell you that it's a conversation out there. People are talking about it. Death comes in threes. Here we are now on 8 minutes. Are you good on the death and coming in threes conversation, or
you're calling it a conversation. Lawrence called it a superstition. Would you say it's a superstition?
I don't know. I know that deaths come in threes. That's what I know. You don't think so? I think so.
Gotcha. You know it's going to be a good show when this is how we're starting off. Like, comment, subscribe. Where do you want to go to? Star Wars?
I don't know. You're running the show today. Since you started it with death coming in threes, take us to the next destination.
Cosmic Marvel over on Twitter says, over on nerdtropolis.com, Simon Kinberg is developing a new Star Wars trilogy, says he's inspired by Tony Gilroy's work on Andor. I thought that was about as good a science fiction storytelling as you can do in any franchise. All right.
I don't think that's a bad thing just because he's taking inspiration from Tony Gilroy. But the only thing I would say is, again, what George said is that did 12-year-olds watch Andor? I don't think so.
I liked Rebels. Simon Kinberg was attached to that. So was Dave Filoni. So whatever this new trilogy of Simon Kinberg, Dave Filoni will be attached to that. The tag team works. And I won't let this Andor love or great, it's storytelling and compliments and stuff matter to me. I don't watch Andor. Maybe it is good. I don't care about it. It doesn't feel consequential. So I don't care for it. This is just a quote. Doesn't bother me.
Yeah. It's just a quote as of now. Hopefully, it stays just a quote. Hopefully, he doesn't try to lean into Andor. Um, you know, like you just said, you made a very successful animated show in Rebels. So while you're pulling inspiration from someone else that has, to me, that show wasn't even as successful as Rebels when it comes to the popularity factor of fans and the connectivity, the canon, and how it all fits and everything like that. Um, Not to say that Andor doesn't; it just follows a group of people that don't matter. Um, um, so yeah, as long as it stays a quote and you are not really trying to lean into Tony Gilroy's Andor, um, I mean, I know that a lot of people like Andor. A lot of people in this chat like Andor. A lot of people are probably saying Andor was great. It was fine. Blah blah blah. That's fine. I personally did not like Andor. There were the scenes that were shared of Mon Mothma I really liked. There were, um, I think that was really it. Yeah, the scene that was shared from Mon Mothma that I really liked, and I know a lot of it is just it's filler stuff. Honestly, it's not like anything that is revealed to be that changes the course of the next four movies. It doesn't change Rogue One in any way. You still know that Project Stardust is the Death Star. You know that um, Krennic started the project. You know that there are certain people trying to stop the said project, and that doesn't change in Rogue One. So uh, I'm as long as he doesn't try to make it Andor, I'm fine.
What time period is he gonna get?
I'm not sure. Is this not the um, pre-Jedi Order or whatever, or not pre-Jedi Order? The one that's supposed to be years before, or is that somebody else?
I thought James Mangold had that one.
Oh, I never know. So many directors for Star Wars come and go. Okay, well, then if he's got that one, I'm not sure what this one is.
He might not go again, Dave Filoni. So he might be the one that actually happens. Yeah, exactly. But who really cares when they change and cancel? And we know Kathleen Kennedy's time is limited. Who cares? Brother Stark adds that didn't Simon Kinberg direct Dark Phoenix? Why do directors always get chances to fail and get to do big shit again?
Yeah.
He deserves nothing, but also he did work well on Star Wars. It's hard. It's hard to justify him getting it. Oh, there's so many other great directors out there. They had Jon Favreau in their hands and they let him slip through the cracks. So they deserve what they're gonna get. It's gonna be a rough next. We'll see what happens with Kathleen Kennedy, bro. I hope when she's gone, they just everything she wanted to do won't happen anymore. Let's go read a comic book. Let's go read a novel from 1980 something and adapt that.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to see what all this new Star Wars stuff is going to look like. We'll see. Especially with her leaving, but still in the backgrounds, in the shadows, doing the stuff that she's likely going to be doing. So we'll see.
Shadows, like an acolyte.
Yeah, like Lauren said, she'll still be around. She'll definitely still be around.
Dude said I'm getting nervous because of this picture. This is Kumail Nanjiani, who we've been hearing for over a year is supposed to be played as Booster Gold. That's coming from the Apocalypse Horseman. I don't think that this is good. I don't get it. I don't want to see it. But that's what they're gonna do.
I think it's going to happen as well. Now, this is one of the ones that James said no to, but as I said, I don't want to call James an outright liar. I think he just tries to protect some of his projects and things like that. But he did say no to this when asked about it on Twitter. Don't remember exactly when that was. It's in the slew of things that he was debunking, but he was debunking this and he said, no, it's not true. Anything, blah, 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 that you hear outside of the studio is not true. But they could have a friendship. They could just be good friends. I mean, I know James did follow each other around the time of that original rumor. They followed each other on social media. And now he's been showing up to premieres and he showed up to the Superman premiere as well. He was also at, I guess this was the Peacemaker premiere. So, and they are saying that he has reportedly already been cast or will play. And that's what the report said a year ago.
He was at the Peacemaker premiere.
Yeah. So he likely is going to be Booster Gold. And that fits, that not doesn't fit Booster Gold. I don't personally want Kamal. It fits, when I say it fits James Gunn. This is something I feel James Gunn would do. They would cast Kamal Gianni as Nagiani as Booster Gold, and I'm sure he is going to be very, very, very campy with Booster. I mean, but you have to kind of be.
Okay, what does it happen in a movie? Is he going to be a supporting cast on somewhere else? I don't know. I just want them to change plans. I want them to stop doing things like Clayface. I want them to do like superheroes who are the best that they've got. And Wonder Woman, we heard, was being fast tracked. Good. That's one of your premier superheroes. Take care of her. Supergirl's happening. She's not one of the best, but we can see what happens. And then we get, if we're gonna get experimental, Mr. Terrific can have his movie. If we're gonna go, let's reach to the bottom of our character base. Dude, Terrific. Don't do no Booster Gold. Even if the casting is inaccurate, it's not right. If you think, so the world wants to appreciate our movies, and heroes can look like anything. That's why Camille Nanjiani is here. Well, then go find a hero from this guy's background and make him popularize that hero, because he's just elevating right now a white IP, which is Booster Gold. It is not progressive without progress. I read on Marvel updates that Marvel is going to do a Tigra show. Well, they can do whatever they want to do. With a Tigra show would be where she showed up. Like, what has she done? I feel like it's Brad Winderbaum gets to have a comic book character that he can choose, and he's like, "Can I use him? No, we're using him. We're her. Okay, Tigra from Avengers Academy. Can I use her? Okay, yes, you can use that character. Go make a TV show, Brad Winderbaum, because we've got no plans for that in the movies. And if it's a success, we might give her a cameo in the next Captain America. Okay, that's how you get the Tiger show. Yeah, I don't care about TVs anymore over at Marvel. I actually have evidence that Kevin Feige doesn't care about them either.
A while ago, that probably, again, like I always say, anytime we talk about the stuff with Marvel, a while ago would have excited me, because the prospects of the West Coast Avengers and all that stuff. Not that the West Coast Avengers still is not like, oh, cool, that's coming or could be coming, but it's not. It's like how I just said it. Oh, cool. It's not like oh man, Marvel. Like it was for me, personally speaking, for me back then. I don't have that same feeling, but that's cool. The West Coast Avengers are coming.
3 a.m. watches, making sure you ordered food an hour before so that you have something. You're caffeinated. It's time to watch WandaVision. Those were the days. Loved that era. I hope we get back to that.
Yeah, I don't think so, but that definitely was the era. That definitely was the era.
Whoa, well, let me propose something. I'll get to your comment in a second. What if Brad Winderbaum, who owns this Marvel TV division, and yes, it is isolated and they won't barely ever mix with the movies, but what if it is so good they mix with themselves, so it does feel like one leads into another, or at least it's in the same world, and we go, this is good, and we like it again, and we go, okay, we can show we're covered for when it comes to the streaming side.
I don't know that Marvel ever gets back to that part. Are you talking about like collectively, as like everybody's saying, oh, this is good? I don't know if they ever get back to that part, because you've already created division within the fandom, and now you're going to have people that are just hating stuff just to hate it because it's popular, and it's the popular thing to do. Right now it's popular to dislike Marvel. So since it's popular to dislike Marvel and bag on Marvel and things like that, and I'm not saying that the popularity of bagging on Marvel is unwarranted by Marvel, but it's the popular thing right now. And I don't, even when it becomes unpopular, and I don't think that that's a thing that really, maybe even when it becomes unpopular, I think you're still going to have division within the fandom, that I don't think Marvel will ever truly be back at that, we're back moment. Watching Endgame last night when I was in here fixing up some stuff, and they just won't get back to that. That no matter how many times you see Endgame, and I've seen Endgame quite a few times. Those moments that stand out in the movie still stand out. It's not, you can watch it 20,000 times and those moments still stand out. I mean, I'm not, am I saying Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars won't have standout moments? Of course, I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. But just the hype and just everything around Endgame in that time, I don't know that they can get back to that. I really don't.
You know, I'm kind of happy that Endgame is going to be like the homework, so to speak. You got to watch that to know what's Captain America's up to during Doomsday and Secret Wars. You got to know about that to know the Iron Man stuff. So who should be cast as Booster? Somebody who looks like Booster Gold. That's the prerequisite. It's what I think for Jon Stewart Green Lantern. Somebody who looks like him. It's what I think for all the characters.
Yeah. Yeah. Do I think that he has the personality to play Booster? I do. I'm just not sure, you know, again, on the look. He's got the personality to play him.
Is Kinberg writing or directing a Star Wars film? I thought he was just writing. He's directing and writing.
I believe so. I believe so.
It's his Star Wars trilogy. It doesn't say here on the site that I'm on. Oh, sorry, man, but you can Google that and figure it out yourself. Chill spot. I just don't want to do it in the middle of a live stream. They can get back to that, Darius, if they clean house, hiring new execs and staff.
Yeah. They put the picture just came out of Harry and Hagrid. And they do look, as the caption stated, perfect.
Harry Potter and Hagrid from the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
They're filming then.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they've been filming.
Huh. And it looks good.
Yeah, I sent it in the deal so everybody can see it. Yeah, looks good. I mean, typical. I mean, looks like
He looks like what I want a Hagrid and a Harry to look like. He'd probably be walking on stilts, something to make him taller. For those wide shots.
Yeah.
Platform shoes.
Is he? Are we sure? Is he not like, well, obviously he's not like giant like that. Well, I don't know. Opposed to this kid, he's giant, but like an average sized person, like in the back, he doesn't look as big to these people in the back. Because I saw a video of them walking him down the subway. I don't know if he's walking on something. I think he's just big.
Like horizontally. He should be giant though. Yeah, this the more I look at it and I look at the people in the background, yeah, he doesn't look so tall. Strange. TV budget, like Hagrid in the movies look like Hagrid.
Well, they'll probably still like camera work and all that kind of stuff, be able to make it look like he is towering over everyone.
Yeah, they'll shoot from below. So Hagrid here, this is what I expect Hagrid to look like. He's got hair covering so much of his face, and then you see his wide belly. He'll do the voice. I'm gonna say that's Hagrid.
Yeah, he looks good. Looks good. And Harry looks like Harry. Actually, really looks like a kid just going to school, but an average kid. But yeah, he'll be fine. Looks good. I agree. I agree with what Professor said. I thought it was going to be Chris Pratt. I thought Chris Pratt was going to be Booster.
Gold.
Well, I liked that fan casting rather. I thought that fan casting was really good.
I'm ready to see. What part of the movie is this? This is him in Diagon Alley, just meeting up Hagrid.
Yeah, movie 1. Hagrid's taking him from his aunt and uncle. Now they're going to Diagon Alley.
You think he'll say the words "You're a wizard, Harry"? Because that is in the book.
I'd assume so.
Yeah, don't get cute with it. Don't be like, well, we had that already in the movie. It was pretty iconic then. You should, find a way to deliver it in a way that's a little bit different. Maybe he has a wand and he's like, "Take it, it's yours." Why? You're a wizard, Harry. Oh, he said the line. Oh, you get it? Like, do it. Just do it differently.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure he'll say it. He'll definitely say it.
CGI, they might CGI him bigger. Well, then if they do, it's a waste of money if you ask me. Just give someone some shoes that make them taller. If he's not wearing them already. How big is Nick Frost? I don't know that off of my head.
I don't know.
He could be using those shoes right now, and then they'll CGI to make it better.
Sean Gunn and Nick Frost is only 5'7". Sean Gunn and his brother James stay taking shots at Marvel.
His brother, who he cameoed at the end as Maxwell Lord. What was the shot?
What I get most excited, Sean saying this, what I get most excited about in this idea of all, it was really not a shot. I mean, it's truthful, but it's kind of a shot. Idea of all these things living in the same world, but having freedom to be the unique vision of whatever storyteller is telling the story. See, at Marvel, that's not it. As we've heard from other people outside of Bo, once you sit down and you give them your story after Kevin Feige and whoever the other heads are sitting at the table have picked it apart, it's basically a completely different movie. Isn't that why the Ant-Man director left? Isn't that why the Doctor Strange director left? Yeah, so with James Gunn, you get to tell whatever story and do it how you want to.
God, there's so much like proof. Why don't they even try the lies anymore? There's so much out there. There's former cast, former directors, former executives and showrunners who are telling this, current cast who are telling this, that they don't even write the script completely, like Rebecca's Mystique.
Yeah, it's like this. Well, that's like when we talked about that. I said that you have Kevin Feige in an interview the same day saying, "Oh no, we never start a film without a script." And the same day, Eben Moss-Bausch is coming out saying, "Oh yeah, well, when we were doing Fantastic Four, our script wasn't even finished." Oh, Kevin, you might want to reel in your talent because they're out here telling a different story. Rebecca Romijn said it. Alan Cummings said it. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna done. I don't know if I'm done yet filming because script's not done.
Hey, the latest that I heard about Marvel scripts and Marvel development, that Robert Downey Jr. was supposed to not be there, and someone else who was using dots on his face and stuff was supposed to be there, and then they changed their mind and they said, "Fine, we're gonna scrap the 3 weeks we just shot with a stand-in of Robert Downey Jr. and Robert Downey's gonna come and play him." What to me, or what to their idea?
What to that? I don't. Who's what? From what I know, and just from those out there, he's been there. Vanessa Kirby did an interview, and that's not like from the Scoopers, but Vanessa Kirby did an interview and said he's been there every single day, on set, helping them. Joseph Quinn even said, he's gone to lunch with. I went to lunch with RDJ. Can't believe I'm saying that. And we've talked, and we've been going to lunch every day after, and da 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 da. So I think he's actually been there.
Well, then he hasn't been on set, according to that report that I heard.
And sorry, go ahead.
That he hasn't been in the front of the camera doing the scenes. Instead, it's been like a person who's got the get up.
Oh,
I guess they're trying to be secretive with the character he's playing. Maybe he really is back as Iron Man.
I don't believe he's really back as Iron Man, but if he is, if that's the case, then he runs Marvel. Robert Downey Jr. can do anything he wants. You just paid me $190 million, and I'm not even on set. I'd be damned if I paid you $190 million. You're on set every fucking day. You're on set not only every fucking day. You're leaving when we leave. You're arriving when we arrive.
But
You're that's just like in the Fantastic Four, like the whole like I understand. I don't know if that rumor was true out there or not about wanting more money for him to show his face in the Fantastic Four post trailer or post credit scene. But if that was true, fuck you. No, I just paid you $109 million. You're gonna show your face in this fucking post credit scene.
okay, look. Marvel needs to plan that shit out. And 3 years ago, when they signed Robert Downey, should have said, we want you to do this, as well as a cameo in Fantastic Four. That's what should have happened. And it should have been in there. And he probably would have said yeah to it during then. But since you didn't negotiate it, now he gets to say, well, pay me to be in Fantastic Four also. This is my rate. If Marvel just had it together and planned, they probably would have had it.
That's if they didn't plan that. Like if, it's not in there and or if what Shackman said is true. Shackman, we're going off of the whole money thing is going off of just scoopers saying that. Shackman says that they left it ambiguous for a reason. They said because we all know it's Doom, we all know it's RDJ. He's back. We didn't need to show his face in that moment. That's I'm talking verbatim, but basically what the quote said.
Vanessa Kirby says it was him. It was Robert Downey.
That's what she says. But she also said that that baby was 100% real, and I'm not stupid. It wasn't.
Hey, she's a liar. Good for her. Her Andrew Garfield, straight up liars. Yeah, lie. Good. Keep secrets. That's true, Darius, because Josh Brolin showed up as Thanos in after credit scenes plenty of times.
Indeed, he did. And that I think that's what I was saying too when I was watching Endgame last night, as I was again doing stuff in here. Just the stuff with Thanos just really hits home, like just the conversation he has with Nebula and Gamora when he says, they're not trying to undo something I've done in our time. They're trying to undo something I've done in theirs. And that means he's like, I did it, I won, and all this kind of stuff. And then that conversation, but that conversation has gravity to it because we know what he's been trying to do over a course of several different films. Blah, 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 blah. The only way, with the newest rumors that we'll get into when we go into the Q&A thing, with the newest rumors that we've been talking about of how they're now connecting Doomsday to Steve and all that, the only way that you can, I guess, have that emotional grab from fans is if you connect it to Endgame. If you pull from Endgame and have that, because to be honest with you, as I was watching Endgame last time, I'm like, I just don't know that Doomsday is going to have these feelings. The conversation, like after they snap and bring everybody back, and he blows up the Avengers compound, and they're like, what is he doing? He's just been sitting there. Well, let's kill him properly. Like it has weight. Let's kill, like all of that has fucking weight to it. Like I'm on your left, even though the weight, bro. It just all of it, the entire movie from start to finish, you, again, as I said, talking about it earlier, doesn't matter how many times you've seen Endgame. For me personally, I can't speak for everybody, but for me personally, all those moments still hold every single time I see it because of the journey I went on for 10 fucking years in the Infinity Saga. With the multiversal saga, you've built it up. We've talked about this, said this time and time again. Sounds like a broken record, but you built it up to Kang. I don't know that this stuff is just gonna hold like or am I gonna feel those feelings of Endgame and Doomsday? I don't know. You're muted.
It'll be a sequel to Endgame, so you will.
Yeah, and then when we got to the post-credit, or not the post-credit scene, we got to the end of it, and he's like, you want to tell me and all that kind of stuff. You want to tell me about it? No, I don't think I will. And I'm like, so what were the newest rumors are stating is, obviously the Luke Cage house is the 1960 house that is at the end of Endgame that we see from the street as the camera pans into him and Peggy slowly dancing. And that's the house that was built on the Doomsday set because we're supposed to be going back there, and that life he created, that branch timeline, caused an incursion. But it's not even so much that it caused an incursion that it's very different now. In this whole, I don't know if anybody read Alex's newest Q&A, Alex over the Cosmic Circus gets a lot of shit right. And one of the things that he was talking about with this newest deal here is that kind of like I said about the timeline, but I didn't suspect this part. How I said, okay, with the soft reboot, all it's giving you is, hey, the X-Men are here, hey, Fantastic Four are here. He says now what this means, and he goes into detail, you have to read it, but he says it's going to make basically, I guess the same thing. Make the MCU what it should have always been, where everybody's together. Is going to have the original timeline. You'll have to pull up the Q&A. He explained it in his answer, but I don't know if that means like stuff is resetting. I don't know. You have to read the deal. What did we, because that was one of the bigger ones. What did we do so far? We did Harry wasn't even a deal, but
right now we're still on DC. We just talked Booster Golds, and this is what's next with Peacemaker's red carpets. Let's go. This is Brandon Davis.
Well, it could mean one of two things. It could mean they're terrible.
That is one option.
Or it could mean that there's a lot of major twists and turns in the last 3 episodes. And even though, I'm only sending the first 5 to select few, things still get out. As you know, things got out already. People want to search. They can be spoiled on purpose. But I really don't want what's in those last 3 episodes to be spoiled. And so I'm keeping them close to the chest. I won't even let my publicist see them. That's the God's honest truth.
Whew.
Wow.
Okay, all right. I can't wait to see it, Matt. This is a question to save until after.
But I will also say that 6 and 8, maybe my favorite things I've ever done. Like it's like of all time. Like it's like some of my favorite stuff ever. Well, it could mean one of.
Is he credible where if he says 6 and 8 are my best, then we believe him? Because I don't think he has that. I think he has a bad track record with telling me things. All he says is it's my favorite. He never says it's the best thing ever.
Yeah, he says his favorite thing he's ever done. I think that, again, that makes me interested to watch Peacemaker. It makes me interested to watch Peacemaker. When you are saying that that's going to be like the episode 6 and 8, you're holding close. You're not even letting your publicist see them. That makes me interested to want to see what exactly you're doing. What is this going to be? So
I was watching Grace Randolph, and she said I got the first episodes of Peacemaker, and this isn't a spoiler, but you're not getting what we all think, and this is going to be attached, and it's going to be so multiversal, and it'll be relevant to the DCU. She says she didn't see it. I trust her comic knowledge. She's a comic writer. I trust her, so I think 6, 7, and 8 are going to be the ones. That's the reason why he didn't give the early access of 6, 7, and 8 to these reviewers.
Yeah, probably so, because he's the one. He did say in order to know what the DCU is building to, you have to watch Peacemaker.
I even heard John Cena tell Jimmy Fallon that. It's so important.
Gotta do it.
He does lie a lot. I definitely don't want anything else that recontextualizes stuff I've already seen. Rhodey being a Skrull since whenever the hell closed that particular door for me permanently. Yeah. He looks more excited about Peacemaker than Superman, but granted, there was a lot more writing on Superman. I'm not judging that. I'm sure you can find red carpet interviews where he's high on Superman just like this.
Yeah.
The nature is to always be excited about what's next. She also has beef with James Gunn and didn't watch the first season. Who, Grace Randolph? All right. Let's discredit her then. Jimmy could see him. Oh, Jimmy Fallon could see John Cena. He can't see me. Gotcha. Laugh at his joke.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I didn't see. I was reading something. Different that was crazy.
No, and you couldn't see it. That's perfect. Brandon Davis also said he's a canon snob and that the multiversal what came before this is handled quickly and clearly. And he got to see the first 5 episodes then. Okay. Thank you, Brandon Davis.
First 5 episodes. I'm gonna send this to you too. They released the trailer for that Good Boy film.
All right.
They released a clip for The Conjuring, but I don't think we can watch. Well, it's IGN. Wait, but that's Warner Brothers, isn't it? I don't think we can watch that. It's a clip because they stung the weapons one.
Look who's here.
Make it bigger. Yeah, see, this is the shit I like.
These well-trained dogs.
I love how quiet it is.
I guess I'm next. I should never have come here.
I like paranormal
Walk.
stuff, so I need
What
another
about-
trailer, but I'll be watching.
Good boy. That's clever. Has that
It
been
is
done
clever.
before? The whole movie is the dog being the protagonist? That's crazy.
That is clever. You know, but that's believable because dogs see shit that we don't. So do kids. So it's very believable. Very, very believable.
Man. They could really use that. They could really use this extra sense that dogs can see these beings, but we don't because our vision doesn't. What?
Yeah.
Save that for the third act. Who's
Yeah.
talking in that movie though? A TV? A radio?
And he has owners.
Okay.
Like I said, my mom, they think someone's at her house. Her dog sees shit all the time, is always barking and whining, looking out the bedroom door and all that types of stuff. So dogs see things, man. It's cool. Whoever pitched that was like from a dog's perspective. Bravo.
Maybe it was Snoop.
Yeah, and I like how quiet it is because, like, if you're at night, if your dog, if you're sleeping, it's gonna be quiet like that. Your dog's gonna be, hearing things and get up and go investigate it, and see a shadowy figure just pass by. And yeah, I like that shit. Yeah, I like it. I'll be checking it out. Need another trailer, but I'll be checking it out.
Let's go to what Ryan Reynolds did the other day. He gave us this. He'll return as Deadpool in Avengers Doomsday. He first thing he did was he gave us the little anarchy symbol over the A of the Avengers. And now it's just a straight up like reports. According to the Hollywood Reporter. His name will be on a chair I think that's supposed to come next week. The big chairs video. Chair video.
They're saying
And
he's not
nobody.
going to be in it anymore, but he's definitely going to be in it. I don't remember what was it? Deadline that reported he's not going to be in it any longer.
Okay, one of them's lying.
Yeah, but why would he not be? He's in it.
When they do the chair video, no one come and tell me 5 hours, 5 hours. Yo, if you were fooled by the first one and you fooled by the second one, I can't help you.
Yeah, he's in it. He's in the movie. Somebody made a very good point on Twitter too. Like, Marvel's not in a place where they can tell, names that put asses in seats. Maybe next time. They need all the big hitters to put all the asses in the seats. Not Ryan Reynolds himself, but Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool puts asses in seats. Proven.
Yeah, this is a culmination film. Let Ryan Reynolds do his thing, come in or never come in, and have someone in a bodysuit come in and he can just do the voice work later. Easiest job in the world. He should be in every Marvel movie.
Like I said last time we talked about it, it's going to be very interesting seeing him in scenes with everyone, like serious moments and stuff. Not to say he can't have them.
No, he can't. I don't see it.
He's had serious moments in his films.
Avoid it all. Just for when it comes to the fight scene. Oh, Deadpool's here. All right, then we get to fighting. But the building, the plot. Oh, here comes the scientific. The reactor needs to be like, nah, bro. Just
that's what I'm saying. I don't know how that would work because he's going to be like, oh, you're that. It's I don't know. Saying something quippy, yeah. And to the audience, like, oh, that's the guy or something like that. I don't know.
No. Well, when they're doing that scene, there'll be 5 of them. Dr. Banner talking to Tony Stark, talking to King T'Challa, talking to all these smart people, and then they're going back and giving their ideas. And then they solve it, and they're like, "Let's get to work, break." And then the camera cuts to Deadpool, and he was like, "We're so smart, that you could use him that way, but he better be quiet." While Reed Richards is explaining the quantum mechanics of this device. That's the time where I don't think I need to see him on screen. Give him something to play with.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, man. Here comes Kevin Davis. First words are D23. Wow, so it's almost like he's a Disney guy. D23 Expo presentation in Orlando, Florida is just only 1 hour. You can get a lot of information out in 1 hour.
I think he's saying that as far as like a chair presentation being 5 hours long. Are they doing the presentation for the chairs at D23? Has that been confirmed?
Kevin says he would know. He's inside Disney.
Yeah, well, Kevin also said last week that the reason that no one that what do you say? The reason no one went and saw Fantastic Four, or I don't know, something dumb about it failing or something like that. I don't know. And I was like, no, people didn't go see those films. That's why they failed. I don't remember what it was though.
Kevin Davis is like consistently disrespected on this stream, but still shows up. It's almost like he's not a real person and has a job to remind everyone that Disney is doing things. It kind of feels like they're top loading Doomsday for me, as if Secret Wars isn't right afterwards, which needs to feel even bigger. I'll gotta see the movie first, and then I'll say it was top loaded. Could be though. It could work if they tone it down a little bit. What could work if they tone it down a little bit?
And say it could work if they tone down
chairs?
No, tone down DP.
Oh yeah, you could. All movies get a swear word. He gets to have the swear word. I just need him in the third act when it's looking grim, and then here comes Wolverine and Deadpool running together, and he'll say, we're here. Aren't you guys happy that we came in the nick of time? Third act fight. Let's go. You still say some break the fourth wall stuff. You don't need him in the first 2 acts. Deadpool. Deadpool is Deadpool. Right. I'm glad he'll be in the movie, man. I think we deserve this. I think we deserve the top loaded, especially after the last 6 years of not lacking. I'll say lacking. I liked a lot of the movies though. Guardians was cool. Spider-Man: No Way Home, Doctor Strange was cool. I'll go to bat for those movies.
Yeah, I'm really. I mean, I'm expecting to see him. I'm glad he's going to be in it. Cool. And from what they were saying anyway, Deadpool and Wolverine already filmed scenes for Doomsday. Or filmed their scenes, or have wrapped filming their scenes for Doomsday, rather, is what they said.
There was a big interview on Cosmic Circus.
Vanessa Kirby said that Vanessa Kirby says Avengers Doomsday will explore the aftermath of Sue's death in Fantastic Four. I've been listening to a lot of people that have had those kind of experiences and what they learn, and therefore how different they are after they come back. It's because I wonder if they're going to lean into the Malice stuff. She already had Malice energy in the movie anyway, so I wonder if they're going to lean into that.
Okay. Lots of people called Malice in that, There's a Jean Grey's daughter, Rachel Grey. I think she goes by Malice at one point. And I know that Nakia goes by Malice. It's one of those names. They just want to like refresh and renew so they have the rights to it. This was an August Discord Q&A with Alex Perez about Marvel Studios projects, part 2. The questions begin here. Have they truly decided to axe the Kangs entirely, or is there still at least the possibility they could consider to have them still play a part in the story, albeit not as the big bad? The last I heard about Kang, they were planning to evolve him into something else, but now it's just a weird limbo.
It's not doing anything with him.
Jonathan Majors did not get an email. He did not get his letter read. Nothing. Hey there, Alex. Hope you've been well. Thank you for doing these. They're greatly. Is Kang still going to be the final villain for Secret Wars, or is Marvel really done using the character? Thank you so much. Right now, it's too early to tell. Now that Marvel has pivoted towards Doom as the big bad, is Kang and his council officially out, or will they remain in the multiverse saga in some capacity, or maybe the next saga? Doom seems to be the focus moving forward here, although I wouldn't count Nathaniel out just yet.
What?
Nathaniel Richards? Isn't that Kang's name?
Yeah. But what do you mean? What do you mean by that? Did you just say he's in limbo, but I wouldn't count him out just yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Reju says, is there a possibility of Kang appearing in the second season of X-Men 97?
No.
There was an idea to have Ramatut being involved in X-Men 97 due to the connection of Insaba Noor being hunted like in the comics. But I don't know if that storyline will be moving forward.
Doubtful.
Bo DeMeo said that. You did not scoop that. I heard him say that. I remember reading Bo DeMeo say that stuff about Kang. Loki and Sylvie. An idea on what Loki and Sylvie's role through the rest of the multiverse saga will look like? Loki will be the center of it all. Sylvie will also be there, but her role will be comparable to Black Widow in Infinity War and Endgame. I'm not saying she's dying. Now that the end of Loki Season 2 will be Marvel's lazy way of finishing up the Kang storyline, the real question is, will Ravonna be back in the future along with the rest of the TVA? That is the question, isn't it? Last I heard, she was going to be brought back. But that was when her role was sizable against Kang. Now I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to see Ravonna. I don't want to see anyone time or multiverse related after Secret Wars. I'm done with that stuff.
Yeah.
Was Ravonna Renslayer really like, oh, we got to keep her. Look at her. She's so... Was she an actor's actor? What was she that would made you go, we got to keep her around? She served her purpose. Do you see a possibility of Marvel theatrically releasing an animated film? Oh, absolutely. They're working on Marvel animation projects set for theatrical release. However, I have no idea what the project itself is. My guess would be X-Men 97. Wow. Well, his guess is X-Men 97. Miles Morales? What's going to be a theatrical release that's animated? That they're working on.
With Miles?
Anything Marvel animation. I'm guessing Miles, but what would it be? You imagine they do an animated Blade?
No. I don't know, honestly. Marvel animation has always been hit or miss for me, more miss than hit for me. I didn't like What If. I know people give What If season 1 grace. I'm not even doing that. I didn't like What If as a whole. Marvel Zombies is the next thing on their list that's animated. I didn't watch Eyes of Wakanda. I didn't like the animation style anyway. So I'm not. I have no idea what they could be doing that's animated. Is it going to tie into the overall timeline of things?
What was your reason for not watching Eyes of Wakanda?
What was my reason for not watching Eyes of Wakanda? What do you mean?
Why didn't you see it when you could? You just chose not to. So why? I'm asking for a reason.
Because T'Challa's not in it.
Okay. Yesterday on Black Comic Lawyers, Jeffrey Thorne, who worked on that series, at the end of that interview on that live stream, I'll play it, but he said like, no, wrong message. This was Black created. You got to see it. I'll play it in a second. Okay. Any word on other future Marvel animated projects happening? The ones we currently know about are the main focus for now. That we don't know about, I heard a rumor about Eternals series stylized as an anime, but that was still in a pitching stage last I heard. It's not passing that pitching stage. Din Djarin says, do you think there's a good possibility they combine the Horde and the Annihilation Wave in the future if/when Annihilus is introduced? I know the Horde exists in the MCU, but they're inactive. Their first appearance will be in Eyes of Wakanda. The more you know. Were they in it? Do you know if season 2 of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is still happening? Yes, it's still in development. But that's like not something
That's not a
you pay.
scoop. Yeah, I don't know who. That's why I said like somebody paid to tell, like somebody paid or paying to say. They asked him, "Will Spider-Man fight Kingpin?" Yeah, Spider-Man's going to fight Kingpin eventually in the MCU. You paid for that?
Who should we expect in the multiverse Masters of Evil? Plus, the Beyonder is still possible. The multiversal Masters of Evil was an idea from a comic storyline that I was told was being adapted for Doomsday and Secret Wars. It doesn't necessarily mean it will be adapted. Yeah, especially knowing what Bo DeMeo told us, that the assistant will just give you the notes of what happens in a comic book, and then they'll go, oh, really? And that's how you get things like Parker Robbins interacting with Ironheart on our TV show, because someone read Infamous Iron Man, which Riri was in for like two issues, and then she was out for the rest. But because of that, the notes, I think that's how we get the storylines that we get. So yeah, sure, that's what'll happen. It's crazy. What could be a potential lineup for a live-action multiversal Master of Evils? If we're going to make the group, I'd want Doom, Mysterio, Red Skull, Killmonger, Hela, and Thanos. If I were going to make the group.
What? No. If you're doing a multiversal Masters of Evil, I'll keep Hela and Thanos and Doom. Why the fuck would I want Mysterio, Red Skull, or Killmonger in that? In a multiversal Masters of Evil. Man, you better get out of here and use some other people we ain't seen before. Like throw Ultron in there, even though we've seen Ultron. I'd throw Ultron in there. I'd do
Go Go to another planet. Someone from the Shi'ar Empire.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do. That's such a boring multiversal Masters of Evil.
Any traction on Moon Knight Season 2 and the Midnight Suns project? There has been some traction, yes.
Yeah, I'm telling you, people paying for this.
Has there been any talk regarding the upcoming Nova project? Any info on Nova at all? Or at least what's the last thing you heard was? Still in the writing phase. That's something that it's being written by who? Who's writing Nova? Kind of matters to me. If it's Michael Waldron, then you know it'll matter in the next Avengers movie. Will Chris Evans return as the main MCU Steve Rogers? I heard it's a possibility, but nothing is set in stone yet. As Ghost Rider movies is the only legacy Marvel movie that hasn't been added to the multiverse, do you see Nick Cage character coming back in Secret Wars? He was going to show up in Deadpool Wolverine. Didn't really happen, but there is a chance he will return soon. Do you think we'll get more live-action multiverse projects besides F4 and the 2 Avengers movies? Yes.
Hey, Alex is making his money over there.
Will we see Zemo again anytime soon? Yes.
Yes, you
What?
will.
What's okay? Like he can say yes because I know his contract has 3 more projects on it. He can give me some more than just yes. What does Scarlet Witch's role in the MCU pre-Doomsday Secret Wars look like? She's dead, but that hasn't stopped characters from coming back before, except T'Challa. He says. What are the chances of the? Yeah,
Oh,
he said it.
Did he put except
Yeah.
T'Challa?
Coming back before, except T'Challa. It
Oh,
says.
no, I thought he put except T'Challa.
Now you gotta have the cosmic lens on. It says so on my account.
That shit would have been comedy. That would have been. I would have probably screenshotted that if he said that. That shit's funny.
Yeah. So Wanda being dead doesn't matter. Everyone in my comment section from the other day, sometimes, he's dead. What do you mean? Shut up. Scarlet Twink. Why am I reading that name?
Who is in what comment section? I don't ever. I don't. People comment on videos. I see so the way YouTube Studio works, if you comment and I like the comment or reply to the comment, it takes it away from YouTube Studio to where now I can only see comments or reply to comments that have replied back to my comment if I go into the actual YouTube app. And I'm typically on my own personal account on the actual YouTube app, not the platform. So when people be arguing with themselves because I have no idea what's going on in those comments. I have zero clue. So I guess what are you saying? People were in the comments.
Everything. No, it wasn't really Ryan Coogler. It wasn't his choice. And I'm like, didn't I not link the video?
Everybody knows. Everybody, and I love that. Everybody knows. Like somebody commented and said that we're putting everything on Bo DeMeo. Actually, I'm putting nothing on Bo DeMeo outside of what he's done with X-Men 97. That's the only thing I'm putting on Bo. I don't know if people are just now finding the channel. And if you are, thank you for being here. We appreciate that. But do some homework, before commenting. I always say that on anything, not just our stuff, on anything. Like when you read article headlines and you run with the article, maybe read that article. That headline could be deceiving. You never know. We've been doing this. I've been talking about this topic and now for, it's exhausting. 4 years now, I think. So with 4 years of me talking recast T'Challa, we've put everything on Nate Moore, everything on Ryan Coogler, everything on when it comes to the Black Panther. So no, I don't. You may have caught just in that video of us saying or whatever, putting on stuff on Bo. In X-Men 97, I put that on Bo for sure. It's all on Bo. I don't care who disagrees with that. That's all on Bo because he says he fought and whatever. So that's all on him. But the stuff, no. So I saw that. I saw somebody on one of my videos saying that, but I didn't know people were in your video going mad.
There's a lot of everything and a lot of lying and a lot of the things that are disproven in the video because I make it's just crazy. It's craziness.
Well, now I'm curious. I'm going to the video. It's funny because, like I said, everybody just knows everything. Has this.
Well, when I see the comment is 5 minutes old and there's already 3 likes on it, I imagine It's the same guy liking it.
Let's see. This person says, I disagree. Y'all reaching. If you think Ryan Coogler was the decision maker here and not the suits at Disney, I don't even have to read any further than that.
I didn't either. Did you see what I replied with?
No, what did you let me
I
see?
just put the timestamp to Ryan Coogler saying it's him.
It's because that's why it's funny to me. It's funny to me. These people come in, and I used to say this all the time. This is when I used to read comments, when I used to argue with people back and forth. I don't do it anymore because it's just exhausting. But these people come in so hot and so ready to disprove and debunk you because your videos upset me. When you don't have any knowledge on the topic outside of what you've now seen in this video and what you've read in headlines. You've not done this research. Boy, I have links and links on top of links on top of links in my downloads of videos that I could present you with evidence of just everything. Like you say, oh, they didn't say this. Hold on, let me go get this video for you. Oh, they didn't say this. Hold on, let me go get this video for you. Like, bro, stop it. So it's just funny when these people come in so hot and heavy thinking they know every goddamn thing.
And then they'll say, Ryan Coogler knew about his cancer. I'm saying in the same interview, Ryan Coogler says he was taken by surprise. He didn't even know. He was talking on the phone with Chadwick Boseman, and they said,
that person said, I disagree. They knew he was sick. I guess they did. Why did they prep? I don't know, but I guess they knew.
Fine. It's fine. It just means it's reaching new audiences.
That's why I stay out of it. You're true. It means it's reaching new audiences. This is why I stay. You know what we need to do? And maybe this is childish. Maybe this is just me saying this right now because every time I see stuff like this, like I do want to comment back. But one of the things for me when it comes to arguing with people online, I'll do it. It's not a problem. Like I'll debate with you. I don't want to write the novels with you though. If you want me to like, so what I would do in this instance, for me personally, and I really am thinking about doing it, even if it's without you, is answering all of these in a video, live stream or not, and tagging them all in it. Tag them all in it so that you can come see. Like, brother, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, get off the internet. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That's crazy.
And then they make YouTube videos on you, and then it goes back and forth. I don't hate that.
Well, if you want to make a YouTube account and make a video on me, and if I'm worth that time, you do that. But I'm answering your questions here because these are some of these are questions, and you're making a statement, a false statement, so you're loud and wrong at that. So I would like to come on camera and either discuss that. I did that with that one guy that I on Twitter sent him the link. He came on live. Not that it changed his mind. He still, and like I told him, you're not going to change my mind. I'm not going to change your mind. We're going to feel the way we feel. But when you're saying stuff like, I disagree, they knew he was sick the whole time. So what do you mean you disagree they knew he was sick? Like, you know that they knew, you talked to them? How do you disagree? Like, what do you mean you disagree? Who told you that they knew they were sick, that he was sick? Who told you that? Where are you getting that to disagree? Because you started your sentence with, I disagree. So in order for you, like, what are you disagreeing with? Like, that's oh, God. Wakanda Forever. It really broke some shit. What a terrible film.
Alex, what are the chances of a solo project with Scarlet Witch during Phase 5 and 6? Very low. Wait a minute. That's a stupid question. Because right now it is Phase 6, isn't it?
Is it? Is it Phase 5? I don't know.
I thought it was Phase 6 right now.
Listen, when they started turning to shit, I stopped keeping count. I have no idea.
It's just a stupid question. So yeah, we know it. We know everything in Phase 6. We already know what it is going to be. Will Jack Schaefer return to the multiverse saga and especially to the Wandaverse? She has a hand in the upcoming Vision series. The Scarlet Witch movie is no longer in development, right? Maybe it is in a frozen state. It's on a pin board at the moment.
I was
back to back. The first one, she has a hand in the upcoming Vision. He doesn't say Jack Schaefer is director of episode 5 she has a hand. Okay. It's on a pin board at the moment. All right. Shang-Chi. Hi, Alex. with Kang now being a threat and potentially the 10 Rings no longer being the main target connection for the multiverse saga. I didn't know they were. Is there a chance that Shang-Chi 2 becomes a West Coast Avengers team-up movie to connect that side of the Avengers roster before Doomsday? I like where your head's at, Liam. I did hear a few things about the story for Shang-Chi 2, and one of the most plausible storylines for the film involves a particular storyline from the comics, which delves heavily into the history between the Mandarin and one of the most notable warlords in history, Genghis Khan, and how that rivalry sort of extended into future generations into the modern era. Hey, that doesn't sound so bad. Let's just, there's a little backstory. They make real life world history into their Marvel, which coincidentally also leads to the formation of one of the coolest Marvel groups in comics, involving a certain FBI agent who loves magic, Jimmy Woo. Oh, Agents of Atlas, I think. The Agents of Atlas. They've been pushing that in the comics. It's an all Asian superhero team. When could we see Spider-Man 4 be released? I'm hearing the July 2026 date. Sorry, my mind is wandering, and I went back to this. Okay. What did we learn from Captain Marvel 1 and Captain Marvel 2? You didn't name it Captain Marvel 2, you named it The Marvels. So if you name Shang-Chi 2, if you name it The Agents of Atlas, you are telling the audience this superhero isn't big enough to have a sequel. He's not big. That's a problem. So make sure Shang-Chi is in the title of your new movie and not, it's the Agents of Atlas. There's more heroes now. When can we see Spider-Man 4 released? I'm hearing July 2026 date that Marvel removed from their spot is being given to Sony to release Spider-Man 4. Yes, everyone knows that. Disney has one movie that is scheduled to release between Doomsday and Secret Wars. Do you know which movie will be released in between the upcoming two Avengers movies? It's looking like Spider-Man 4, but unsure yet. Hold on. No. Spider-Man's being filmed now. It'll come out in 2026, in July of 2026. He's saying it's going to come July of 2027? Between Doomsday and Secret Wars?
Well, he's wrong. I don't think that's what he's saying. What did he say? It's looking like Spider-Man, but formula Disney, Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars. You know which movie will be released? Okay, well, he's wrong. It's definitely not that one.
They're filming right now today. They're not going to sit on it for a whole calendar year.
No, of course not. Maybe he spelled Doctor Strange 3 wrong.
What will Zendaya's role be in Spider-Man 4? She will be MJ. That's hilarious. When will Spider-Man 4 start filming? Later this year if they want to keep that date.
How much are these? Like, is it like 99 cents, $5 a question? Cost a letter?
These must have been written, and they must be posting this before Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars switched dates, because it was supposed to be Doomsday in May, and then July Spider-Man, and then Secret Wars. So maybe he was right at the time. Because if you see this, when will Spider-Man 4 start filming? And he says later this year. This must have been before they switched Doomsdays from the May release to the December release.
Well, if that's the case, then he knew about the Steve Rogers stuff way before, because he talks about it in this.
So, mic check. Better now. It says, do you have any updates on Spider-Man 4 supporting cast?
Anonymous says he thinks we're on the wrong one. It says part 2, August 12th, 20. Oh, this says August 12th, 2024 at the top.
Okay.
Is this not part 2 from... Hold on, because let me find it, because I know it's out.
Whoops.
Jesus Christ. Forgive us. Here it is right here. I'm like, what is he talking about? Why are we talking about all this old shit? That's why I wasn't talking, because I was like, what is this? Okay, here's the right one.
Brother Stark said, why is nobody asking about T'Challa? Why do you think they're not asking about T'Challa?
Not us reading the one from a year ago. Now it should be the right one. Yeah, I had to get off your video. I watched it when you first posted it. I hadn't seen it since you first posted it though. When I saw it, I was like maybe the third like. Now you're at 270 something with all those comments. Those comments, I had to get off.
Like I have 270 comments.
No, 270 likes, but somebody said something like y'all in too deep, and then I stopped it. You're in too deep. I hate that. To whom? Because if this was your character, would you not be in deep?
Well, like I said, the algorithm has pushed it to new people, and they, for the first time, get to see Kevin Feige say, "We will not recast." Nate Moore saying it was in minutes, and like so it's a good thing overall.
It is. It is. I agree with you. It is so hard for me. That's again why I don't engage on my outside of YouTube Studio. I don't engage with comments like that because I will be in a 3-day back and forth with you, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that because it's like, how are you going to tell me? Like, I'm still stuck on that one. I disagree. They knew he was sick the whole time. Like, what do you mean? Like, that's just such and like no question marks, just sentence period. Like they like point blank, like they knew he was sick the whole time. Like you can't and they come in so bold with it. That's why I'm just like, I can't. I gotta get off.
And I hate when it's left unchecked for like 5 hours, and then I'll see it and I'll go, "Oh, I should have probably fact check that really quickly because maybe other people are watching and read that."
Yeah.
Alex, August, here we go. So we get to, with Secret Wars coming up, which universe do you think is going to get merged with our universe? I have heard that the new Earth 616 will combine elements from all of these variants Earths to make into Earth 616 originally. I know that last sentence may have confused you, so let me try to break it down. Back when Avengers 5 was still the Kang Dynasty, one of the big twists was how Earth we have seen in these films and shows was not 616, but rather a version of 616 cultivated by He Who Remains that removed many heroes from what was originally Earth 616. It would have been called Earth Prime. It's why Doctor Strange vaguely remembers the Fantastic Four as a band that charted in the 60s instead of them being world-renowned astronauts who gained powers after space exploration, or why Eric Lyncher never became Magneto, or why Charles Xavier was a simple college professor. First of all,
how do we know that? How do we know that Charles is a professor, or how do we even know Eric? Those names have never been mentioned in the MCU, unless I'm missing something. Was there a scene or something? Was there a newspaper clipping or something that I wasn't paying attention to that was an Easter egg? Do I need to go watch a new Rockstar's breakdown of something? From my understanding, those names have not been mentioned outside of that Illuminati shit when he said, and the post-credit scene for the Marvels. It's the only time Charles's name has ever been mentioned in the MCU.
Kang was 20th Century Fox. You can't have him or him. You know what would be cool? If they time traveled to the 20th century and got a fox, and he could be like, put that mounted on the wall. He could say, "You see my 20th Century Fox?" You don't make me write these movies. So
I do think that though. I mean, who didn't think that though? Like, right? We all thought that. I want to say most of us, because some of us didn't think that. I say, like the whole. There are a lot of people that have said, no, it's a hard reboot. It's this, bro. It's not. It's simply all it simply is players you didn't have on the table are now on the table.
The reset expected in Avengers Secret Wars would alter that course of events and bring with it an Earth that was always meant to be filled with Avengers, X-Men, Fantastic Four, and we'd basically be in the middle of a timeline where everyone in the world thinks that this has always been the case since the beginning of time. Think of the episode in Flash Season 6 that occurs after Crisis, and Cisco has a meltdown about the consequences of that. Episode 10, if I'm not mistaken. That summarizes what Marvel Studios planned for their main Earth post-Secret Wars would look like. Good. Everyone's going to just return back to normal and T'Challa's alive. Hi, what elements are they taking from Hickman's Avengers, New Avengers sequels? The most important one is definitely Time Runs Out and 2015 Secret Wars. Absolutely. I could have told you that. Hi, Alex. How are you? Greetings from Brazil. In one of the Q&As, you said that Taskmaster will return in Doomsday, and Production Weekly confirmed Olga's, Korlenko, presence in the cast as well. How will she return? Yeah, no. That was probably before the rewrites with Taskmaster. Okay. She's not even in like the picture of Thunderbolts when they put it on Disney Plus and on the posters. Eugenio says, and do they have plans for her after Secret Wars? Nope. Hi, Alex. So, Kevin Feige said in a recent interview after Secret Wars they plan to reset the MCU and recast a lot of characters who knew from the whole MCU, like Iron Man and Captain America. I'm wondering if you know what characters will not be recast after Secret Wars and will stay with the same actor and actresses.
Technically, if he did even say, I don't even know what he said. If he does say T'Challa or whatever, it would be a recast.
He says Scarlet Witch for starters. That's his whole answer. Scarlet Witch for starters. There's nothing more. So she'll keep her job. Scarlet Witch, Elizabeth Olsen. Do you see the champions?
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I maybe. Okay. You know, when some of these scoops come out before we even read this, you know, a lot of these stuff, like people will take. That's why I say I don't know why people pay for this stuff. If you wait a couple hours, it'll be everywhere. So, like, when some of these come out, I'm just like, yeah, like, who thought Elizabeth Olsen was going somewhere? Who thought Elizabeth Olsen's Wanda was even dead?
Look, she's a great cast. She's a great like character wise. I think she's cool. There's no reason like there's any beef to have with her or like she's yes. Keep Elizabeth
but
Olsen.
just even reading like I don't even have to have inside knowledge. I don't have to. I mean, that's just common fucking sense. I just watched Agatha.
How many women characters are really loved like the way that this one is? You care about that stuff. Keep her. Pay her what she's worth and keep her. Her first contract has to be up by now. It's been 10 years since Ultron. So whatever they negotiate with her, it's going to cost them. But remember the WandaVision high viewership. She's actually liked. Keep her.
Yeah, you keep Wanda. The fuck?
You see Champions Young Avengers project being set up before or after Secret Wars? Any chance we could see Eternals in Secret Wars? After. And no Eternals in Avengers Secret Wars as far as I know. I don't think we're getting the Champions at all, bro.
You know?
Maybe on TV, maybe. Sincere Secret Wars is looking like any and every Marvel character could appear in it. Do you think there's a chance Baymax from Big Hero 6 could appear? God, I would love that more than anything. I'm not answering that question. Hi, Alex. Is Kang the Conqueror blacklisted from the future of the MCU? Or are there actually some plans for him to possibly be a villain? Obviously a recast, / rebooted Kang. I'm sure they could revisit him in the future. Hello, Alex. Is there any possibility of Hydra's most notorious criminals to reappear in the future after Secret Wars? Strucker, Viper, Red Skull, Zemo. Absolutely. After the reset, everything is fair game to be brought back. Yes, that is what the reset will be. That is the nature of Secret Wars. Hi, a friend. Post Secret Wars, do you think that we will get back to seeing projects with characters probably younger Tony Stark, younger than Robert Downey? Or will they keep the previously main Avengers in this new world in the background and let characters like Riri, Kamala, Billy, and Tommy shine and just have the old heroes casually show up? There will be previously dead heroes and villains brought back from what I've been told, just not T'Challa. Mainly because with the reset, certain events that we know happened in the MCU will have occurred in a different way, except T'Challa's death, because that's permanent in every universe, he says. Unfortunately. Look, dead heroes are coming back. Dead heroes are coming back, Marvel. It's a reset. You don't have to do any storyline, anything special. It's already baked into the Secret Wars movie. Make it so that the greatest black character that you ever created is a constant on screen. And if you don't, I'm going to ask questions. Laser Gun says, since Kingpin most likely won't be in Spider-Man Brand New Day, do they plan to ever use him in a Spider-Man movie? And will his storyline be wrapped up in like Spider-Man 5 or 6 or Daredevil season 3? They plan with Kingpin is to have him face off against Spider-Man, which hasn't changed. And for Brand New Day, it's possible we could see a mid-credit or post-credit scene that would tease an upcoming bout against them. He's the mayor of New York. Why wouldn't he? It should be noted that Vincent D'Onofrio not long ago stated on Josh Horowitz, it's a very hard thing to do for Marvel to use my character. It's a very hard thing to do because of ownership and stuff. Right now, I'm only usable for television series, different kinds of series, whatever it is, but not even a one-off Fisk movie or anything like that. It's all caught up in rights and stuff. But he could appear in a Sony movie. Sony does have Spider-Man. There would be no rules against that. The rules are probably, I know this. The rules are Sony characters can only be used in movies if Sony lets it. Kingpin can be on TV, no problem, because it's not a movie. That was a movie deal that they signed away. And there should have been a time limit on that for the rights to return. Kingpin reading guide. Can we expect a gang turf war going on in NYC after Born Again and the Punisher special? A lot of people Kingpin has locked up are going to be very, very angry with him. So yeah, it'd be safe to say the war on Fisk is going to be waged. Nice. Hi, Alex. If Marvel Studios are strongly considering Mike Coulter, Kristen Ritter, and Finn Jones to return in Daredevil Sandbox, how exactly would they be reintroduced in the MCU? Now that Daredevil is building an army of good authoritative figures, civilians, and vigilantes. They've gone into hiding. Can we stop?
Yeah.
Nothing in the Q&A is going to come out that he wouldn't think, oh, let me put this in my actual articles. The Q&A is just like a fun thing he does on Discord.
Yeah. The most go to that link that I sent you after this. Let's go to Josh's little breakdown.
Break it down.
Because it was interesting, just because of the kind of putting all the rumors.
Where'd you send me it?
Should be in the DM. But he puts all the rumors, all the rumors that have been out there for Doomsday all together, and the ones that were out there that are now not true any longer, and kind of puts it together and where we currently are with everything now, and what we could be looking at next year. Did you find it?
Nah, the last thing I got was from 13 minutes ago.
Okay, so when I go...
Is it a Josh video, like a Den of Nerds video?
Pretty sure, yes.
Okay. I can find that. The Den of Nerds. Oh, he's live.
That's not bad.
These ads.
Den of Nerds, I am Josh. We need to talk about Avengers, Doomsday, Avengers Secret Wars, and the MCU reboot. Over the past week or two, there have been a ton of leaks and rumors coming out about these movies, and a lot of them sucked ass. I was really down about it, thought it was stupid. And then out of nowhere, from the top row, there came some new rumors that are actually fucking awesome. So in this video, I want to break down everything that's going on. In all seriousness, there's a lot. You probably missed some of this stuff. I also want to bring in some wider context here. So we'll go over all of the new leaks. Then at the end of this video, I want to address the whole leak with Steve Rogers and the incursions and Doctor Doom stuff, because some of this new stuff does make that stuff make a little bit more sense. Okay, so first off, one of the things I want to talk about is this big Q&A that Alex Perez did over at the Cosmic Circus. And there's a couple of different things in here that are really wild, but there's one in particular I want to bring to your attention. Check this out. Alex is asked about the universes merging after Secret Wars, kind of like for the reboot. And here's what he says here. He says, I have heard that the new Earth 616 will combine elements from all these variant Earths to make it into the Earth 616 it was originally. What? Hold that thought. I know the last sentence might confuse you, so let me try to break it down. Back when Avengers 5 was still the Kang Dynasty, one of the big twists was how the Earth we have seen in these films and shows is not Earth 616, but rather a version of Earth 616 cultivated by He Who Remains that removed many heroes from what was originally Earth 616. This would have been called Earth Prime. That's why Doctor Strange vaguely remembers the Fantastic Four as a band that charted in the 60s instead of them being world-renowned astronauts who gained the powers after space exploration, or why Eric Lyncher never became Magneto, or why Charles Xavier was a simple college professor.
I don't think there's going to be a scene in the movie explaining, oh, that's why I thought Fantastic Four was a band. I don't think that. I think that's the stretch that dude is making over here, Alex Cosmic Circus.
He said expected in Avengers Secret Wars would alter that course of events and bring with it an Earth that was always meant to be filled with the Avengers, the X-Men, and the Fantastic Four. And we'd basically be in the middle of a timeline where everybody in the world thinks that this was always the case from the beginning of time. Think of the episode in The Flash from season 6 that occurs after Crisis on Infinite Earths, and Cisco has a meltdown about the consequences of that, episode 10, if I'm not mistaken. That summarizes what Marvel Studios planned for the main Earth post-Secret Wars would look like. Now, that's pretty crazy in and of itself. But one of the things that's kind of wild in there is Alex is saying in the original version of the Kang Dynasty, that was going to be what it was. And yet it's still going to be the resolution. So the question is like, will that somehow show up in Avengers Doomsday and in Avengers Secret Wars? And I think the answer would have to be yes. I think it's going to be altered a bit, and obviously it's not going to be Kang, and it kind of seems like Marvel's not going to want to mention Kang at all. But that language is really interesting. The heroes have been taken out. He's not saying like eliminated, but he's saying like put in these other universes. And that line about Doctor Strange vaguely remembering the Fantastic Four as a band that charted in the 60s is really, really interesting, because Doctor Strange, of course, loved classic music and he was really good at recalling music. That's like in his movies, right? So he almost has like a photographic memory, as he has said before, for music. It's interesting that when Reed Richards says Fantastic Four, he remembers a band in the 60s, right? Kind of close to like that thing that he's very good at remembering. And what Alex is saying here in this new scoop is that that is why he vaguely remembers them, because there was a version of the universe and there were events, there were version of events that happened where the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, and the X-Men were all in the same universe.
You know, when he brings in the music and how Doctor Strange's character gets the music, that helps with the theory, right? Michael Waldron wrote both movies too.
That's why I shared this video, because it was an interesting.
I have to thumbs this one up.
Yeah, that's why I share this one. He put it together pretty well.
And if Doctor Strange kind of remembers that, that implies that Doctor Strange was there in that original Prime universe. That is really freaking cool. I'm actually going to do a whole video about this, because that implies that other characters, even potentially the ones from the other universes, like maybe Reed Richards or Victor Von Doom, would also have fragments of memories from that original version of the universe before He Remains and before the Sacred Timeline and the TVA. The question would be then, would there be a way to gain those memories back, perhaps through the use of magic? And is that perhaps what Doctor Strange was out there doing, or rather Doctor Doom was out there doing, before going to confront Reed and Franklin and Sue in the Baxter building at the end of the Fantastic Four movie? To me, this is so damn cool, because one of the reasons I was kind of upset about the rumors of Chris Evans and what they were doing with that in Doomsday, which we'll talk about more in a second here, but one of the reasons I was upset is because it felt to me like they were throwing some of this other stuff out, right? This rumor had already been out there that you you were going to have this prime Earth or this version of 616 that existed before everything. And it had been implied by some of the scoopers and insiders that RDJ's Doctor Doom comes from that Earth. However, after Fantastic Four, it was like more or less established that he's from the Fantastic Four universe, that theory looked like maybe it was in question. And then definitely with the stuff that was going on last week with the Chris Evans stuff, I was like, oh, they're not doing that at all, because it seemed like they didn't want to go into that Kang stuff. They don't want to go with this fact that there was a version of the universe that they all existed in before. And instead, it was just going to be,
we need stories. We need stories to understand ourselves.
Oh shit! I thought that was part of the video.
That when Steve went to go live in that universe with Peggy, he started all the incursions and destroyed everything. So Doctor Doom was simply going to go try to stop that, to stop the multiverse from having incursions, right? That is just Doom saying, I don't want the multiverse to be destroyed. That is not the same thing as Doom being like, yo, the multiverse is fake. I belong in the sacred timeline. Y'all ripped me out of it. You ripped the X-Men out of it. This is a fake reality, and I hate that. But now, with this being confirmed to still be the mindset that's going to guide how the universes are put back together after Secret Wars, that implies to me that this is still on the table as something Marvel's going to tell as a part of their story. Now, there's one more thing I want to talk about that Alex just revealed about Doctor Strange and Clea, which I think is really cool. And then we'll get more into the leaks of friggin' Steve Rogers and how all that fits together. So a couple of different things here, okay? First of all, Alex just cryptically tweeted out, don't trust Clea, which I think is really cool. It got me excited. I actually talked about it on stream on Friday, put a clip out about it, because that's a cool prospect. It means there's still some juice in this story with Doomsday, and there could be something really crazy going on with Clea. Now, Alex said in his newest Q&A for the Cosmic Circus that Clea and Doctor Strange are still in Doomsday, and they're still a big part of this whole story, that they've been dealing with incursions. And Alex even implies that they've been dealing with incursions by any means necessary, meaning they're probably out there destroying entire worlds or other universes. And the old rumors were that Clea was going to be connected to the Black Priest and some Jonathan Hickman stuff that would see Doctor Strange going out there and witnessing different groups of folks playing the game of worlds, destroying planets as the entire multiverse was collapsing to try to save themselves. Alex also says that when they roll back up, like when Clea and Doctor Strange show back up in Avengers Doomsday, they will have been gone for 3 to 4 years because of the way that the dark dimension works. So they're going to be gone and have had a whole ass adventure, and you can't trust Clea. And
they'll have a whole adventure. Let me sit on that. I don't think like Clea and Doctor Strange doing a whole adventure should just, and then they appear, should be a thing. I think that's a movie, and that should be what's in between Doomsday and Secret Wars.
Probably is.
Was Benedict Cumberbatch on one of the chairs for Doomsday? Good. Yeah, let's have him not appear at all. He could be at the end credit scene. Oh, here I am. And then we go, well, how did he get there? We all watched the movie of Doctor Strange 3.
I would like that. I think that's the strongest theory and rumor right now, is that is his film in between. And that'd be, I mean, it makes sense. It doesn't make sense for any other movie to be the film in between now that Spider-Man is not the film in between.
Yes. Yeah.
Even when Spider-Man was the film in between, it didn't make sense for Doctor Strange's film not to be the film in between.
I don't want to play the whole video. Like, go subscribe to Josh if you want that. Buck says, what's up, everyone? What up, chill? Hi. Isn't that what they used to explain why no one remembers Sentry in the comics? Oh, yeah, there was something like that. That's during his introduction. Yeah. You know what? It comes at a point where if you're introducing a brand new hero, lived-in worlds since the comics started writing like 60s. Actually, if you go to Marvel #1, I think 1940s. That's how old Namor is. So when you have these old characters, you're gonna explain how a new character came to be, and you're gonna have to say everyone forgot, or he was in another time period, or his psychically he forgot he had powers. You're gonna have to do things like that. That is that. Thank you, Alex from the Cosmic Circus. Alex from CC is where you can find him on Twitter. And the CC doesn't stand for Caitlin Clark. Let's get back on the DC. We're going to talk about Gal Gadot.
Gal.
All right, so I think that there is an irony of having Godot play the evil queen, because that's a woman obsessed with beauty. And here's Godot, where that's the only thing that she brings to the role. She can't act, she can't sing, she even has trouble just standing there. She is truly awful in the role. When you think about how many divas in Hollywood could have knocked this one out of the park, it is so disappointing that they cast Godot in the role. And all right, so I think that there is an irony of having Godot.
She made the comments on over the weekend, and said this. You can always explain and try to give people in the world a context about what's happening in Israel and what the reality is here, but in the end, people decide for themselves. She was talking about also how her bad acting says her bad acting was not the reason the movie flopped. No, as I said I reposted this on Instagram, on my Instagram story. No, I think she's either ignorant or willfully ignorant, because your bad acting is a footnote in the reason as to why Snow White failed. Your comments were a lot of the reason, and then you had, who's the star? What was her name? Her comments.
Ziegler?
Yes, Ziegler's comments. So your bad acting was just a footnote in the reasons as to why Snow White failed. So I'm not sure why she was, and I guess she still doesn't. She's still out here not understanding, or like I said, either just being ignorant or willfully ignorant. People's position on where her comments. So hey, from my understanding, whatever film she's doing now, weren't people outside protesting
in London?
Yeah, because of her comments. They're not protesting your bad acting, gal.
They're protesting your genocidal ethno-states. Your advocacy for it.
Yeah. So I'm not sure the fuck she was talking about, where the fuck she was coming from.
And then she made another, maybe this was it? Well, but in the end, okay. It was like, she made it sound like there was pressure if you stand up against Israel and if you said free Palestine. Like there was actors had pressure to say nice things about Palestine. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Go look at Dwight Howard tweeting it in 2015, and then Omar Caspi jumping on him, and the commissioner Adam Silver jumping on him. Delete your tweets. You can't say it. The people who Palestinians don't own anything. They don't own anything. The boss over at Disney, Bob Iger, who supports the Israeli state, your boss at Warner Brothers, which is Wonder Woman, are entangled with Israel also. There is no imaginary pressure or group of celebrities that are like, go Palestine. It's very rare to find that, actually. The pressure goes the opposite way. She's making things up, just a fake victim. Max Lord says, you're putting yourself in... Max Lord, you're putting yourself and everyone in danger. I need you to give me the stone. How was that?
Kal-El, no. That's one of my favorite.
There's a video that I liked that I'm trying to find it. Kal-El, no. There's a guy who does her voice. His name is Matt Kette.
I randomly will say that. I'll just be driving. And it's not that's not new for me. I've ever since I heard her say that has always stuck out to me. Kal-El, no. Oh, that shit's funny.
Here it is. Kal-El, no.
Hell no. Do you know what's happening in this scene? Superman was dead. Then someone made a wish on a star. He comes back to life, and now he's. And what's going through Wonder Woman's head? Oh, I'm Wonder Woman. What if you tell me, then I tell you what I'm thinking, and then we see.
She has fear. She has stress.
That's brilliant.
Is that your take as well?
Imagine all the people.
Yeah, please.
Beautiful song.
Okay. So,
Imagine that.
Yeah, please. Should we take 5?
Kalel, no.
That's better.
Kalel, no.
Okay, Cal.
Hold up. This is the one. You got to see this.
Commercial for I can't believe it's not butter. Okay, so all you have to do is slice a little piece of it and then look at the camera and say, I can't believe it's not butter.
Why do I not believe it's butter?
So that's not actually a combination of vegetable oil and other ingredients, but it's not
There's
butter.
a vegetable. This is not butter.
This is not butter. But that's actually, so the product is called I can't believe it's not butter. So that's the only line.
This is not butter.
Right. But what you're going to say is, I can't believe it's not butter. Action.
Come here.
Gal, you just take it. No, just cut into the butter and say, I can't believe it's not butter into the camera. And
This is not butter.
Gal,
They're lying to you.
say that.
They are lying to you. This is a vegetable.
Action. The
This
line
is butter. When I ate my toast, see, butter would do that.
And I'll see if they're willing to let you change the line to this is butter.
This is butter.
Okay.
Kalal, butter, yes. That's good.
No. Okay, Gal, this is a commercial for I can't believe it's not
What?
butter.
Kal-El butter, yes.
She said, why don't I believe this? That's funny.
Well, I think like yeah, she's there for good looks and everything. When she's getting older, what is she? Is she in her 40s yet? Like I don't know. I think time is up on that one. They're gonna have to go with the girl who was in Brave New World for their propaganda.
I don't know. I won't let them take away that bank robber scene from her though.
I give that to Zack Snyder and the body double.
Cause that shit was dope. That shit was fucking fire.
I might have asked you before, but we do need to keep that. The electric guitar needs to stay.
Oh, with what, DC?
Yeah, that's her theme. You got to use it.
Yeah.
I just keep elevating. No losses, just upgrading. My lessons made blessings. I turn that into money.
I'm Two Fly Cam. Hey guys, rank your fandom. Mine is DC, Star Wars, and Alien. Fuck, bro. Naruto Pro Wrestling. Then Marvel.
Star Wars, Marvel, DC. That's my order.
Where's Avatar on that?
Which Avatar?
Nickelodeon.
I guess it'd go after DC.
It is that high for you, isn't it? I put a Twitter poll asking that, like, is it the blue people Avatar or is Nickelodeon Avatar more bigger? Like, and they said the Avatar is Nickelodeon.
Yeah. Also, I like Harry Potter too. It's in my list.
And then Bowden Mayo says this is an existential litmus test. I didn't even see him say that. Whoa. He didn't answer. Can you see who voted? No, you can't do that. It's all anonymous.
Cannot. Is there anything else that they put out today? Slow weekend.
From Avatar, yeah. I could show you something.
Oh, yeah, that deal.
That's an interview that was had from the creator. And I'm taking this from the Avatar's YouTube channel, but the podcast is called the Illustration Department Podcast with Giuseppe Castellano.
Our sort of having to deal with the ramifications of what the previous Avatar did, or they.
Clips and explain why they matter.
Yeah, we do talk about that a lot, where it's like, oh, this Avatar are sort of having to deal with.
YouTube commercial.
Hell no.
It's gotten out of hand.
The ramifications of what the previous Avatar did, or they have similar issues because the previous Avatar didn't really deal with that issue.
That's actually my favorite part of it.
Yeah, so that part is kind of a deliberate connection, I guess, between the avatars, but then it's still like, I mean, that's why we made Korra like older, a girl, wanted to fight.
Are you gonna find a way to like connect the next, like, you don't have to talk about it, but would you find a way to connect the next Avatar's arc to theirs?
Oh, it's gonna all be connected. You'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's connections for sure.
I'm excited.
From the new stuff, yeah.
This confirms.
You want to keep playing?
If you want to.
Long-running fan theory. The previous Avatar makes mistakes that the newest one will have to fix. Now, I know some fans have always hated this theory because they want all avatars to be completely separate from one another, like a clean slate every single time. And yeah, sometimes you have to stretch the definition of mistake to make it fit, but Mike pretty much confirmed it here. I also like how he stated it's all connected, because looking at the history of the past avatars, even events from centuries ago still have ripple effects that land right in the newest Avatar's lap. Avatar Sito focused almost entirely on domestic politics in the Fire Nation. While this did in fact bring peace and security at home, it centralized power in a way that future Fire Lords could exploit. Essentially,
Avatar Zito. It looks like he got the airbender tattoo, but only a diamond. He didn't get the full thing.
I don't know who that is.
Yes, he must be before Roku, the one before that, the fire one from 4 years before. Anyways, who cares? The answer that Brian gave in that podcast interview. Oh, it's all connected. Like, that's so nice to hear, bro. Especially going through the Marvel stuff where nothing was connected. It's all going to be connected. I think 2 avatars and having these twins, which is the theory, is great. For one good reason is that, let's just say one of the twins dies at the end of the season, at the end of this whole series, one of the twin dies. We will start the 4th generation legend of whoever, and that new avatar will be in a world where he gets to talk to the previous avatar because that one hasn't died. It'll be the one we see here. It'll be Pavu, the one that we just are going to watch in Seven Havens. Avatar Pavu is going to be like in her 50s. Here comes the new guy, and he's a teenager, and he's interacting with all of the old cast from that old series. The way we have it now, we barely got Katara, bro. She was still old, and she was grand when we got to Legend of Korra. And we couldn't have gotten that if Aang didn't die at a young age, which he did die pretty young, all things considering. We have to be able to revisit the same characters, surrounding characters, background characters, extras, over and over again. A series that jumps ahead 80, 90 years each and every generation isn't that entertaining. But if we can jump ahead every 40 years because one avatar will die and then another avatar will die and there's 2 living at the same time, it solves the problem for the Avatar franchise. And I'm talking about down the line when we learn about 7 new ones after Aang. This is great. I like that idea and connection. We have a genius working on this.
Yeah, I like the connectivity. Always love connectivity and connected universes. I think that's the way it should be every time that you have a universe like that. So I love the connectivity. I love that they're drawing back. I mean, they did it in Korra. You saw flashbacks of Aang taking powers from the Benders and things like that. That whole court case, you saw flashbacks of that. So it's all, I feel like it's always been connected, but I like that they're going to be connecting it all.
2 avatars can't live at the same time. That's the point. Chill. Well, Ravu and Venti, what were their names?
But they weren't avatars.
What's the name of the
yin and yang? Not the gods that Zhao killed, not the moon.
Okay, let me start over.
I
just don't know their names.
You're talking about the kite-looking ones.
No, wait.
The ones from the flashback?
Yeah, in Korra, We go back to Avatar 1, and he's possessed by a spirit. What's the name of that? Ravu?
I'm pretty sure.
Varvu? Okay. There's 2 of them. The second one, the evil one, during Korra season 2, which I recently watched.
It's
he
Rava.
Rava.
The white one, and the black one is the
black one joins Korra's uncle, and he becomes an avatar, so to speak. He becomes possessed by that. Now, spirits like that exist in the world. Just because only Rava did it to Wan and started the cycle, Rava and Vatu. Thank you. Just because only Rava did it doesn't mean that another spirit can't do the same thing. Or Rava can be like, oh, well, my species is called Kite, and we have another Kite who can join someone else, and that's why the twins. Or maybe Rava says, maybe Rava joins a woman's, I guess, egg, and since it's split, there's 2 Ravas now. That one is in a twin here and one is in a twin there. Lots of ways you can explain it.
You would piss off the fandom. If you put that in the show, that would piss off the fandom. They'd be like, explanation or that.
Like, even having twins pisses off the fandom. Twin avatars.
I agree. I don't think that there should be 2 avatars at once. When have we ever had 2 avatars? Regardless of if they're twins. Not every twin is the same. There's always one twin that's better than the other. Always. And I don't think that sorry twin avatar that didn't, or twin that didn't get the avatar powers, sucks to suck. But I don't think there should be 2 avatars at once. And then splitting Rava and the one I was saying, the kite looking ones, the ones that.
Yes, Rava and Vatu. So Vatu can say, I'm gonna do the same thing that you try to do, Rava. I'm gonna make sure that I can make someone else an avatar, but my avatar, dark avatar. Like, yeah. He even said that during the Korra episode where they fight each other.
I don't think there should be 2 avatars. And are we for sure that these people are twins in this one?
Yeah, they mirror each other.
Oh, they haven't said this. This is your.
I saw a picture of it.
Oh, I thought they said they were twins.
Maybe this is fan made.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's fan made because the original pictures we showed back then, I don't know if we thought they were twins. I know people kept talking about her leg, and that she was an earthbender.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't remember twin talk.
Okay.
Neri says, yep, Tia and Tamara. I don't know. Maybe is there knowledge that's being missed? If he's saying yes, they are twins. Are they not twins? Are they twins? What's the original pictures?
Well, there is that. We'll get confirmation, bro. We'll get confirmation. And we're still a year away from this show even happening. It's Avatar 7 Havens.
Jesus. We're still a year away. Lord, fix it.
Yes. The title is it is slated to premiere in 2027.
Wow. Yeah, they when did they announce this? It's a while ago. I get it, getting everything together, but wow, it's been a long time. Because I did that first video for that for a while ago.
It'd be a great time right now for that because Marvel's not going to have a movie for a whole year. It'd be a great time to have some Avatar. Someone's not taking advantage. Well, James Gunn is. We're going to get Lanterns, Peacemaker. So there's 2 shows that are going to happen. But Star Wars is on a hiatus. Ahsoka's not coming for a long time, and Mandalorian Grogu movie's not coming for a long time until May next year. It's we're kind of in a drought. Is there anything that you're hyped for? Is it the Avatar Blue People Avatar, James Cameron? I'm not hyped for it, but like maybe it'll be good.
Is there anything I'm hyped for with
anything science fiction? Is there any cool franchise? That Predator movie looked all right.
Yeah, the Predator movie looks like it's going to be good.
You keep hitting the mic. I can hear boom, boom.
Yeah, the Predator movie seems like it's going to be good. I'm not sure what else is really science fiction-y else that's coming out.
Oh, what's this Gen V story that you added?
Oh, it's just their episode guide.
The episode guide that came out. The release of schedule for Gen V Season 2 is this. It's episode 1 coming September 17th. Episode 1 to 3, actually. They're giving you 3 episodes. Yes, Amazon Prime does that, doesn't they? And then episode 4, then 5, 6, or 7 weekly. Okay, September 17 it is. Good stuff. That's it. Yeah.
That's it. Gen V. How did that first season do? You don't watch The Boys.
Yeah, and I also don't know how to read numbers like that. The website showing you what charts. I don't really even remember what Ironheart did. I think they did 500 million minutes watched. That just happened.
Well, I know I didn't really watch the first season. No to that shit. I know I really didn't watch the first season, but still a Boys universe fan. Oh yeah, Spider-Man Noir. Like Johnny said, that is coming out.
Next thing is Bella Ramsey. She wants to be in the next Spider-Man. She wants to be the next Spider-Man.
Dun, dun, dun.
Tom Holland did a great job, but I think we need to make a new movie for me.
Move over, Tom Holland.
That's it.
Bella's
she asked for it. She'll
coming
get
through. Will she?
How serious do you take this?
I take it. I mean, I bet she's serious. I mean, the studio's looking at her like, yeah.
Lots of people say a lot of things.
Yeah, and Sony's not. I mean, I don't know. Sony would. No, I doubt it. She's not. No. When I saw that anyway, I was like, this is just her putting out that she wants to be Spider-Man or Spider Person. She'll never be that, but you know, maybe there's another hero or somebody that she can be. I actually saw a poll that somebody posted asking, would you even want her in the MCU as any character? And everybody said no. Now, why is this little girl hated so much? Is it because of her role on The Last of Us?
Last of Us?
Game of Thrones. I liked her in Game of Thrones.
She was. Everyone was laughing and joking, and she was in the room dead serious. We took an oath, and that's our vow until my last breath. The son of the anvils.
The king of the north.
The king of the north.
King in the North. Yeah, so I liked her in Game of Thrones. I didn't dislike her. I didn't care for her in season 2 of The Last of Us, but I didn't dislike her in the first season. Season 2, she was kind of annoying. So was Hot Girl.
There's one you sent from MCU Film News that is age restricted on my account. Can't show it, whatever it was. Sir Ian McKellen reveals that Frodo will appear in The Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Golem, coming December 2027. You and me both didn't watch Lord of the Rings.
No, but I know who Gollum is, and I know who Frodo is. I know names. I know faces. I know he's a hobbit. I know he once didn't look like this, but got obsessed with the ring or something, and now he's Schmeagol and looks like that. I know Andy Serkis plays him.
Precious.
Well,
Oh no, not him on his
And
phone.
here there's going to be another movie set in Middle Earth. And it's going to start filming in May. It's going to be directed by Gollum, and it's all about Gollum.
That's expensive.
But I'll tell you two secrets about the casting. There's a character in the movie called Frodo. And there's another character called Gandalf. And apart from that, my lips are sealed. Well,
no one even helped him.
Yeah, Johnny said Johnny says she could be the green mutant that sucks the mutant gene out of people that lives with the Morlocks. She could be a Morlock.
Bella Ramsey could be a Morlock.
She could be Leech.
Brother Stark says, as long as it's a white person in the role of Peter Parker, I'm fine with it. A la T'Challa recast. I see where you're going. I was about to say, what is he talking about? Oh,
that's funny.
Lord of the Rings.
You're
gonna get
fallen.
You're gonna get lots of diversity of thought in Lord of the Rings. That's how they should advertise it. Everyone's gonna be white. What about diversity of thought? You know, lots of political opinions on set, and we all get along. You just do that shit. Everyone who was mad about the elves, they'll be back.
Was that supposed to be Leech and no
Leech
and X3?
Possibly.
What the fuck?
Let's go to the supers.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough.
Yeah. I clicked the wrong button. Every time we step up to the building, super chats up. I'm too fly cam. Do you like Alien E so far? The kid element is, I don't know. You watching that?
Alien Earth. I haven't started it yet, but I am going to watch it. Yes. Ew. I know, Xavier. I was reading this here. It was supposed to be Leech in X3. What the?
I also did not watch Alien Earth, and I wish I could add some more to that. If the kid element is bad, maybe kid element is always bad. The Blue Ranger in Turbo was bad because he was a kid.
Shut the fuck up. I am disgusted. I was already disgusted with X3 because I don't like it, but I'm even more disgusted now finding out that that was Leech. Yeah, like I said with that, yeah, I'm definitely going to watch it. I haven't yet, but I'm definitely going to. I like the Alien franchise. I liked the newest one. Started with a P2, didn't it?
What's the release schedule for Alien Earths? Weekly?
I don't know. I haven't watched it yet.
On August 12th, FX and Hulu released the first 2 episodes of Alien. From there, a new episode will drop every week. The finale is September 23rd. Cool. Does Alien Earth chart on the website with Nielsen? Because that's important to everybody. Being charting. Streaming. Original. Where's Alien Earth? No, it's not charting. I'm looking at the July 14 to July 20 dates. And no, it's not. But it begins on August 12th. So then technically it can't have charted. Yeah. Okay.
Cameron Bright is the boy that played Leech. He used to play in a lot of movies. Not any longer. He is living an average, everyday life like you and I.
Lauren says to check Variety. Uh-oh. What is the Monday morning Variety headline? Let's check together. That's Variety. Jimmy Kimmel speaks out for Colbert. Okay. Alan Cummings says it was really healing playing Nightcrawler in Avengers Doomsday after awful experience in X2. Denzel Washington says who cares when asked if he's worried about being canceled. I saw that. But where's the big news? What am I supposed to look on Variety? Is it Alan Cummings? Let's give that a look. Alan Cummings. Really healing. I love the film. In a recent interview with People, the Traitors host said it was really healing after having a terrible time during the first pass at the character. I just came back, Cummings said. It was amazing. It was actually really in sort of a ooey gooey way. It was really healing and really nice to go back to something that was terrible experience when I did it the first time. A great film. I love the film. And then he said, X2 with defamed director Bryan Singer was miserable and awful for a variety of reasons that I have talked about at length. However, filming Doomsday has been the complete opposite experience for the Emmy winner. It was actually really great to go back. I'm 60 years old. I did not think I would be doing stunts playing a superhero in my 60s, so that was great. And everyone was really nice, and I got it done really quickly because I couldn't go because of the Traitors when most of my scenes were being shot. Cummings is not the only X-Men returning for Doomsday. So are these guys. Several core MCU favorites have also returned. Avengers Doomsday comes to theaters in December. Okay.
Yeah, he's done.
Oh, they've got their own streaming chart. Okay, cool.
He is done with his filming. He wrapped it up this past week. I think Pedro's done as well. You know, Josh Brolin just did an interview, not just, but 9 days ago, where he also said for Infinity War, he did not have a script. So I don't know why Kevin Feige's trying to spin this thing out here that they don't, when his talent is out here telling just all these different stories. Now, we don't start movies without scripts.
Huh. Mark or Stephen McFeely, Michael Waldron, Russo brothers. I'm very fair, and then plus I'm hearing that they're gonna just continue off of Captain America Returning the Stones. I'm very confident the movie will be fine. It's what you do in 2028. I'm worried about, and how you handle T'Challa. That's it. That's really all it is. Feige, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, that's
today. Thank you for being here.
Hold on, there is something I wanted to see if I could find really quick. Let me see.
You see the David Johnson stuff? That he's going to be the new T'Challa, T'Child, maybe?
What?
No, you didn't see that, did you? Over on the Hot Mic podcast, there was some talk.
I don't watch the Hot Mic. Now, if they post about, like, typically they post what they talk about, so I did not, though.
Boy, you got to see this. This came out on Thursday. And in the middle of explaining the X-Men to John Roca and the castings and all that, we get some news.
I agree, because you need that Starky energy. If Tony Stark is not going to come back to be Tony Stark, he's going to be Victor Von to be in there. Peter Parker, the multi.
Do we know, or somebody that we don't know, or somebody who we do? I mean, other than
here,
I think that they know who they want for T'Challa.
You think they've already selected the person? Do you think they're in conversations with them?
I hear that they're actively casting X-Men. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
I'm told that in inside agencies, they are definitely putting forth clients for X-Men.
Yeah, I mean, part of the scoop when I had the Spider-Man Hulk scoop was that the X-Men film was going to drop 3 or 4 months after Secret War. So you're not going to not start casting now in order to shoot that thing. So yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, for T'Challa, I don't know if it'll be
Jeff didn't
Dan
look like he
Sanders.
believed that.
Yeah, okay. Not surprised.
I think the guy who is shaping up to be, and I don't have any inside info really, but I think David Johnson is really looking pretty good for that.
Wow, the guy from Alien Romulus.
I mean, you like I saw photos of him from Long Walk, and he's bulked up a little bit.
Yeah,
I could see it.
Okay, all right. I like that.
I'm about
idea.
to go.
He's such a solid, good actor, and he's up and coming. Why not?
I'm about to leave.
All right, let's move on to this.
See how little they care. That's like the world breaking news, and they're just like, let's move on.
Hell no. And
Let's
that
talk
ain't
about
me.
X-Men.
That's not even me. Hold on. No, we're not about to skip over that like they did. That's not even me saying I don't like bruh, because I thought in Romulus he was great. I thought he was great. I thought his acting was superb. I thought he was one of the people in the film that stood out. I mean, he's one of the main characters, but he stood out. I liked him a lot. Do I want him to come put on the now? If he's being the kid, I don't give a good goddamn any other way. Now, if he's coming in, they want him to be T'Challa. Hell, no. There's a certain swagger that comes with playing that character, as with any character. When you are playing that character, there's a certain je ne sais quoi that comes with that, and he doesn't have that je ne sais quoi. He doesn't have that. There's a certain, like I said, swagger, aura, if you want to use today's words, that comes with that, and he doesn't have that aura to be T'Challa.
Okay, give me a different, bro. Give me a different. So you mentioned it for a second. You said, well, if it's the T'Challa, you don't care. But and then you just went into the I'm not there yet. I'm not where I can start being picky about actors and start asking and requesting. I just want to have all my energy on, is the character going to be actual T'Challa?
I can be that picky because they're that picky. Why can't I be that picky when all the other Marvel fans are that picky? Hell, they're picky every time a casting rumor comes out. Oh, I don't want this person. I don't want that person. But somehow, when every time we circle back around to us, we have to, just like with everything, even outside of films, be happy, settle. Just be happy. They're even talking about him. Just settle it. No. I'm going to be picky, just like they're going to be picky.
So when you take when you have the actor in mind, and you say this actor, and it's finally that actor, but he's not playing the child, you just spent a lot of your time advocating for the actor, and they said we gave you this actor. Look, fans, be happy.
Wait, say that again, because I don't
want to waste time advocating for an actor. It's more so always going to be about the character. Anytime I spend on the actor and saying it's got to be Aldous Hodge, when you spend and dedicate that much time on who the actor is, maybe they will finally get the actor that you're looking for. Maybe, you don't want David Johnson? Cool, no David Johnson. We got you. Aldous Hodge it is, grown-up version of Toussaint. We're calling him T'Challa. You see how I'm more selective with the time I spend on the topic. Like the David Johnson thing was more of a shrug.
It's not a shrug to me.
Yeah,
what if Jeff has heard that and that's true, and they recast him as T'Challa?
Actual T'Challa?
Actual T'Challa.
No, Heath Ledger was the Joker, bro. We can see. We have to wait for them to perform and then see what happens.
I use the Heath Ledger one out all the time too. I can't use that here. I can't. We hadn't seen Heath Ledger act in a role that way. We've seen David, what's his name, act in action type roles, and I don't think he has that oomph. And again, not even to go back to that, to go back to what you originally stated about not being picky. Again, that's to me not fair. It's not fair, because anytime that these white folks are having conversations about their characters, they can be picky down to the damn skin follicles they have, to down to the type of toothbrush they use or mouthwash or whatever. So if they can be that picky on the characters that they want, I'm going to be that picky on the characters that I want.
But that's not results based. That's you saying things should be equal. You're right. But since we're in this is the playing field that exists right now, I don't want to waste.
How are you saying that that's results based? I need evidence on your results.
I already said it earlier in this conversation.
Well, I had to repeat several things during your first 9 minutes of the conversation of today's stream, so you should have no problem repeating what you just said a few seconds ago.
I was gonna say it again. So the result that comes from actors and choosing the actor and all that, and the conversation around that actor, Marvel can, they're talking about actors. Cool, we'll just get the actor that they want to play the wrong version of T'Challa. You get it? That's the result. That's the world we're living in, where they're gonna try some slick shit. So I don't even want to give that, even though the white actors can get white characters and white. Yeah, you're right. That does exist. That is the reality in which it is very unfair and not equal.
Maybe.
No, Rosales, we cannot. It's war.
Maybe. But I want to publicly tell them no. I don't want not him.
He's 31 years old.
What a major back.
A 31-year-old is going to be the T'Child.
Well, whoever it is going to be T'Child. I mean, like I said, when you sip that Kool-Aid and realize that, the conversation changes. But not him. I'm still, of course, going to hold out the hope that I wanted to be T'Challa, but not him.
Well, if he's T'Child, I hope that he sucks, and he's another factor for why T'Child doesn't make money. Well, that's
I could see them going that route. Just like I could see them going the Damson route too. I could see them going the Damson route. Just, I don't know that Damson. I mean, Jeff's saying that he doesn't think they're going toward Damson. We don't know what conversations Damson's had with them since yes, no. So I don't know, but if it is that one, I could see them going that route also, because that is something that Marvel typically does. They go after the more no-named type people, the people that are kind of up and coming. He had a really big performance in Romulus. He did. He was one of the main people talked about at the end of the film. So I could see them going that route.
Here's the Eyes of Wakanda staff member creator.
Wonderful episode with you.
Mentioning.
Did
you say something?
Enhance our notion about Wakanda and the Black Panther is and richer, while Chadwick Boseman was playing that part.
Here it is.
So we're fleshing out what's under him to show you how impressive he is. Now, I can't guarantee that other writers are going to treat them right in terms of power scaling. I'm almost going to guarantee they won't, because they haven't thought it through properly. But this show was created to enhance the.
I kind of went in the middle of his answer. I think the beginning of his answer is when he explains why the show was created.
Original plan for Black Panther and his mythology to make it deeper and richer, while Chadwick Boseman was playing that part. So any rumors that it was part of some nefarious scheme to erase T'Challa or, push him aside for some other reason, maybe that's in effect. I don't know. And ultimately, I don't care, because that's not what we were doing. There was none of that going on. Couldn't possibly have timeline-wise, right? And this is as close to an all-black production as you're going to get from Marvel.
Yeah.
And again, one dude made this up, and it wasn't me. They would have never thought of this if not for Todd coming over the fence with it.
So does that?
Shout out to your entire team. Please convince.
So are we saying that? Does that then excuse it? Because this is as close to an all-black project that we're going to get at Marvel. Obviously, we knew that the timeline, because of where it is on the timeline, T'Challa wasn't going to be involved. But the point was never that, well, let me see if I can word this correctly. It's more so, if T'Challa was still alive in the MCU, I wouldn't care. I would have watched Eyes of Wakanda. I would have watched Eyes of Wakanda because T'Challa is still alive in the MCU, and all roads eventually lead to him. It's kind of like Star Wars currently. I am excited to see the Mando Grogu movie. I'm excited to see Ahsoka season 2, but I know that all roads eventually lead to Rey, or back to Rey, or episodes, whatever. So I'm kind of looking. I would look at it in the MCU the same way if T'Challa was still alive. All roads lead to T'Challa, even if it's Eyes of Wakanda. He's not in it. The Okoye series, even if he shows up or makes an appearance or mentioned, not in it. It doesn't matter. All roads lead to him eventually. Now I say that also saying I would not have liked watching an entire, whatever without him showing up or something like that, or some type of, same complaints I have with Sony and some of the other projects without main characters. But if he was still alive, I don't know that I'd have a problem. But I say all that to say, are we supposed to then excuse it? Does that what is he trying to? Because I'm assuming he's saying all this because he's seen the complaints. He's seen some of the things that people have said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was that supposed to excuse it?
Yeah. Whether Todd made this up before Chadwick died, however the concept and the idea was created, the result, I'm results based here. The result is, oh look, our TV show charted Eyes of Wakanda, so we can be successful without T'Challa because of the decisions that they did. And like you said, I'd watch this show. If they didn't decide to kill T'Challa and move the franchise on without him, we're going to explore the rest of Wakanda. I just don't want you to be able to find success in that, even if it means that an all-black production and all these people who were hired and they don't get their thing charting on the streaming account. I remember hearing Ryan Coogler himself say this. People could say what they want, but Wakanda Forever is the most streamed movie. I know that it is being used, numbers, viewership, movie tickets get used to justify the decision of regressively pulling T'Challa from Black Panther.
Big, my respect and admiration to your team. I really love the series. That's why I was fired up to bring you on here.
Thank you. I love talking about it.
Dispel all the rumors and lies and BS, quite frankly, I saw on the internet about the show. People depriving them of the show off of just a bunch of stuff they made up or read on the internet.
It's the internet. We can't help what spreads around, but I don't work for that company, man. I have no future plans at Marvel. Marvel has not offered me anything. I do not give a shit whether Marvel rises or falls. It's a giant corporation. Sometimes they employ me. Currently, they are not employing me. I have no company loyalty. I am not looking up to do anything. Okay? If I tell you something happened, it fucking happened. If I tell you it didn't happen, as far as I know, it didn't happen. And anybody's got something to say about it, contradictory, step up to the mic.
I don't believe that there's anything nefarious from Todd Harris or any of the creators of the Eyes of Wakanda TV show. I don't think they had any intentions of, we can make this thing work without T'Challa and we'll prove it. And that's why we're pro T'Challa, we're pro Shuri, we're pro, it's a mantle and anyone can be there. I don't believe that that's what they were thinking during the concept of the show, during creating of the show, voice acting of the show at all. Don't believe that. It's me stepping up to the mic and saying that. But the result of Eyes of Wakanda being successful will be used to justify, or if it's successful, will be used to say, see, we don't need that guy. Look at how good we did. All of our other animated shows only rank this highly. But when we did the Wakanda one without T'Challa and other Black Panthers who are not T'Challa, it made this much. That's what I'm not insulting personally the people who worked on this project. And I'm glad they got paid in advance, and it's not a result, like the payment isn't because of how much viewership you get. You're not getting back end points or something. I'm glad you get to feed your families. You get to put it on your resume that you worked on this, but I will not participate in the success of that. Now, Black Panther 3 comes out. It's T'Challa. They announced it at Comic-Con at D23. This is an actor. He's playing T'Challa. They confirm that it's not going to be the nephew of Shuri and it's going to be really actually T'Challa. I'm going to watch Eyes of Wakanda, and I'll encourage people to do that too. Maybe it can chart then the week that T'Challa gets cast. Until then, though, I will easily forsake Todd Harris and every producer on that show and everyone who worked on it for the overall benefit from T'Challa being on screen, which is much greater. Forsake, sacrifice, care less of, diminish, belittle. I will always do that because I recognize how powerful T'Challa is being consistently on screen. He had more to say earlier in the interview. You don't have anywhere to be, do you?
I know you wish they do, but they don't. We're going to be back here again in another time. You're going to have some more stuff to talk about.
Oh,
more NDA covered stuff.
More NDA covered stuff. Even better.
Yeah,
I love it.
Thank you as always. You know me, you the fam, whatever. But I know there's a lot of people who feel, and I think justifiably so, some kind of way. I'm very much in the recast T'Challa mode, but I'm not going to watch anything because T'Challa's not in it mode, because one, the company doesn't feel that. I know you wish they do, but they don't.
See, there it is right there. That's the thing I've been saying. That's the point I've been making. Again, when you sip the Kool-Aid and actually realize that they're not going the direction you think they're going or want them to go. Or I know some people are out there still on Twitter saying, I see it. I don't comment anymore, comment back, but I've seen some people saying like, using, and again, I personally, I like E-Man. I don't have any issues with E-Man at all. We talk to each other on Twitter sometimes. One thing that people have been using his video as a reference to them recasting a lot. His conversation with the Russos. People have been putting in on Twitter and comments as rebuttals. Well, E-Man already had this conversation with the Russos and blah 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 blah. Like I said, when you sip that Kool-Aid and you realize what it is, like you said, the company's not feeling that. They're not. They're not.
I heard him say the word feel, and I think I interpret it differently. I think he means feel the viewership loss from you.
That's what I mean. That's what I got from it too. They're not, because it's the example I use all the time. We are there. It's gotten bigger since it started in 2020. But we're still not the voice. We're not the, in our spaces, it looks loud because that's what we see all the time. Out there, it's not, and they know about it. That it's not that Marvel doesn't know about it. They just don't care.
Okay.
And it doesn't, and like he said, it's not affecting them. It's not affecting their pockets.
But I'll still do it. And
I'll still do
100 people who will listen to me, if that, because there's people in this space who will still go and support Eyes of Wakanda, you paid for a movie ticket to see Wakanda Forever. There's even within this, I understand how minuscule the dent will be, and I will just not watch Eyes of Wakanda. And I respect anyone who does because of the reasons that he's going to be saying in this. It's all black. I get it. I just wouldn't. Let me rewind 10 seconds.
That's T'Challa mode, but I'm not going to watch anything because T'Challa's not in it mode, because one, the company doesn't feel that. I know you wish they do, but they don't. But more importantly, Eyes of Wakanda was created by a black man out of his head with no help from anybody, in a job that did not set him up to become the showrunner of anything. Todd Harris's career trajectory did not include creating and running a show, directing anything, designing any of that. He's a storyboard artist. His story is they put him into a job that usually takes people like me a decade to learn how to do right. And he killed it. He enhanced our notion about Wakanda and the Black Panther is, I said this at the top if you guys weren't here. The Black Panther is to every other Wakandan what, Captain America is to a regular human being, a regular normal person. But a baseline Wakandan is what Captain America is to a regular human being. So we're fleshing out what's under him to show you how impressive he is. Now, I can't guarantee that other writers are going to treat them right.
There, actually, I played it. I played all of that earlier. So the intention of Todd Harris and how he's a storyboard artist and how he killed it and he did a great job and all that good stuff still doesn't make me think the way I think. Stop making me think the way I think. Disney greenlit this, forwarded it. They're gonna benefit off of the death of T'Challa, and they're gonna sell Eyes of Wakanda. When I don't want them to be successful with killing T'Challa, I don't watch Eyes of Wakanda. When I think it's worthwhile, I support them. When Blade is a movie that is actualized, I go to the movie theaters. I'll drop my money on it and I'll support it. You get it?
Yeah. It doesn't change my mind either. I mean, I get where he's coming from, and I agree that the studio doesn't. They're not affected by this. They are not moved by it. They're not anything by it. They're not. That's just that simple. Again, I have no inside knowledge on that. That's just what I'm seeing with my own eyes. But that does not mean, and I understand where he's coming from, but it doesn't mean I'm going to stop feeling the way that I feel. I'm not going to stop not watching things that he's not in or whatever. So no, I get it, but I'm good.
When I see things like the charts that say millions of minutes watched, and sometimes things like Daredevil doesn't even reach those charts. When Eyes of Wakanda doesn't chart, just like X-Men 97 episodes weren't charting on that, we can at least say safely that 500 million minutes were not watched. We can easily say that they need our minutes. We're not, while they won't feel the dent, they won't feel it. The small dent that we leave is a little bit bigger because this is such a low watched TV show. Even if they're not being nefarious, Todd Harris is not being nefarious, and everyone else who worked there wasn't. This is a Disney issue, bro. This is a overall. It's bigger than just Todd Harris.
You think that affects? Well, whatever. We'll have to see when it happens. I don't know.
We saved Ironheart from not charting. Ironheart also was a criminal, and then she made a deal with the devil. So I don't know. I'd like better representation. You see the house that she lived in? The apartment that she was in?
Peter Parker lives in a shit apartment.
Riri Williams canonically doesn't live in a shit apartment.
Go to that video I sent in the DM.
Private parts?
For all of you if you have children, obviously school has started back. They're on, I think this is their first real week here. They went back last week, but I think it was like 3 days. So this this teacher has made a song for her students. And what do you think? Appropriate, not appropriate? Do you want your kids singing the song? You tell me.
These are my private parts. No one should touch them. No one should squeeze them. And if you touch my private parts, and if you touch my private parts, I will tell my mother. I will tell my father. I will tell my teacher.
I don't have a child. I don't want children. But appropriate or not appropriate? I don't know. I feel like the message is in there, right? How else do you get to children? They're not going to forget that.
Yeah, songs stay in everyone's head.
They're not going to forget that. They're going to remember that shit. She said it was more so the emphasis she had on it. She seemed like she was more into it than the children. Lauren says she get a pink slip. That's why I said it might not be appropriate enough. Professor said never. I thought so too. I was like, Oh, Chef say didn't hear the lyrics. Yeah, she said, these are my private parts, my private parts, my private parts. These are my private parts, and no one should touch them. No one should squeeze them. And if you touch my private parts, I'm going to tell my mother, or I think the next line was I'm going to tell my teacher or something like that. And it's a way that they are trying to get children to not, or to remember, young children to remember, hey, stranger danger. I don't know how, if it's like this everywhere else, but also here they started no phones in schools this year. There are no phones at schools. And if I was a parent, no, my kid's taking their phone to school. What?
Well, see, there needs to be a market for flip phones again. There needs to be a cheap flip phone that you can call your kid. You don't want them to be using this app and that app, and it's just got you. Maybe a location service, maybe something like that. The kid phone, it's durable.
Maybe. But the world is just not the world it was when we were in school with flip phones. I want my child informed. I want my child to inform me of what's going on. And
you want your kid to have Twitter?
That involves the internet. That involves Twitter. That involves social media. That involves can I stop my kid from posting and being on Twitter and stuff like that? But do I want my kid? I guess I'd be a different type of parent, bro, because I want my kid informed. This is not the same world. We don't live in the same world. You can't tell my kid they can't take their phone to school when there's an active shooter all the time in the United States when it comes to, especially with school starting back, with new rules, new policies, this new administration, people feeling emboldened to do whatever the fuck they want to do. What if there's a gay kid or a black kid or whatever at school, and this kid decides he wants to bring an M16 and spray everybody, and my kid doesn't have a phone to call me? And that's like on the worst level of it. But there's other things that I want my kid to have their phone for, to be able to contact me, to be able to be informed on what's going on outside the walls that you are in for 8 to 9 hours a day. And
the phoning part makes sense to me, but just the attached camera, access to the internet, that's the problem with me.
And again, I still disagree. When did you graduate? Is that too much info? I graduated in 2012.
Okay.
So that was now 13 years ago. About to be 13 years ago, 12 years ago. So back in 2012, it was still we were doing safety drills and the code blue drills, intruder drills, all these drills of if this and if that. There were so many times where back then, and not that we didn't have smartphones, even in 2012, we had our iPhones, things like that. But it was like, did you record it? Did you do this? Did you do that? I don't need a flip phone with this shoddy ass. If something's going down, I want my kid to be able to record, send me a 4K video of what the fuck is going on. No, like I'm sending, if I'm a parent, I'm sending what should be the most precious thing that I've ever created in this world with a bunch of strangers and a bunch of kids. I don't know what the fuck's going on at your house. I don't know what the fuck is being put in your head.
Can you give me a solution to a teacher in a classroom of 20 and there's multimedia? All like, how does that teacher teach when we give them that? Do we need to have a block on the Instagram app, or are you going to say, well, the Instagram app is how you do video calls? Like, what do we block?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. We had Instagram and Twitter when I was in school, and I'm well educated. So what's stopping you, the teacher, from being able to do your job? You can't hold the class's attention like that, or like what? I'm confused, because I'm not saying that every person is on their phone the entire time, but to unless school is drastically, and I know I just made the statement that it's not the same way when we were in school. Obviously, things are a lot different for these kids too, even social media. But even when we were in school with these same apps, Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and all that kind of stuff, no one, the entire class is not on their phones while the teacher is teaching. So I'm just like, teacher can't do her job, or his or her job.
Okay.
If
teenagers,
a
teenager with the teachers and the 5-year-olds. These ages are different and should be treated differently.
Yeah,
I don't want to
see Dwayne
discredit
said
every
phones should
teacher,
not
though.
be in
Teachers are
class. Keep
complaining
your
about
phones
it.
in the locker. I disagree. He said keep your phones in the locker. Dwayne said phones should not be in class. Keep your phones in the locker. I disagree. I just do. I've seen too many things go down to where a phone is no longer a priority, or I'm sorry, not a priority. It's no longer a luxury. It is a necessity. A phone is a necessity, and
certain apps are not necessities.
they may not be, but
There we
again,
go.
as
We
I as
found
I
it. We
as I
found it.
no,
We're there.
as I still said earlier, I want my child informed. I want my child informed. Now, if you had children and you want to send your child to school and without a phone and without being informed and things like that in today's society, you do that. I would not do that. Not in this society. I wouldn't have done it in 2012.
I feel anything with the comment section should not be allowed on a phone or accessed in school. Now, if they can do that, if they can say, fine, you got a phone, but when you're in this zone under the radius of this school, what you can't do is go on TikTok because the phones won't allow it. Or we can actually talk to TikTok themselves and say, can you make these dark spots or
then your child is then less informed. They're there for 8 to 9 hours a day.
TikTok
is an informing app.
But in the middle of the classroom, you shouldn't be using TikTok. You can turn it back on at lunch hour. If there's a way to do that.
If you're alive. And you might say, "Oh, whoa, drastic." There was a USA commercial for the US for going back to school. I don't think it's not new, but they always share it every time it comes around school year. And it's these kids talking about all these neat things they got as back to school supplies, but they're using these things for school shooters. You should pull that up. So when that's the commercial,
don't do that to me.
When that's the commercial and that's the message being spread for back to school, you're damn right. I want my child informed, and I want my child to have a phone, and I want my child to have access to every fucking thing when you're sending the message of back to school being a shooting on commercials. So yeah, I want my child to have their shit and I want them informed.
I want them to have the bulletproof backpacks too. And there's no reason to say, yo, check out this cool video in the classroom. And if there's a way where we can block those things, well, we can still keep the FaceTime calling with your parents. If we can say that parents are allowed to get FaceTime in a school zone, if we do have technologies to limit things. So if we can implement those for safety and for the benefit of teachers being able to teach, because they're all complaining that these phones are a distraction, major distraction in the classroom. If we can do that, I don't want that 1 out of 100, more than 100 chance that your school has a shooting like that to threaten every single day. There's entire schools right now that will not have a shooting, and they haven't had a shooting since they've been created. But they all have school phones every single day. It's a daily occurrence. It's got to be dealt with. And limits and restrictions are where we need to be talking. Not, oh, well, look at this school shooting. It's so magnifying how bad and great that is. That's why we need to have TikTok. Come on.
I didn't say that's why we need to have TikTok. I said I want my child informed. And it's not a come on thing when there are 20 shootings per year in the US. When you have out of what?
Out of how many schools? 20 out of 2,000 schools?
I just threw a number out there. I just threw a number out there. That may not be accurate. But I know that you live in the comfort of Canada, so you don't have to deal with that. You know, something you have to hear about. But when we're hearing on our news stations about elementary school students being gunned down, like the one in Mexico, the one in New Mexico.
Yeah.
So when we're hearing about kids being gunned down, elementary school students being gunned down, it's not a bro, come on.
Magnifying the threat of the school shooting and all that.
Again, you're talking about it as if it's just some one-off thing. Oh,
no,
you're magnifying this school shooting. It's not just it's not just a school shooting. But children's lives are lost.
Magnifying the loss of the child's life who doesn't deserve to die, and magnifying the great threat that is school shootings isn't where I am right now. I'm at how important is TikTok to have that in the classroom every day. You can return to telling me how bad school shootings are, and I believe you. I'm with it. That's why I'm with you when you said, yeah, we should be able to phone our kids. That makes sense. Of course.
To be
keep a phone in the locker? No.
To be informed. That's why. Because let's say there is a school shooting or whatever that's going on.
Someone goes, I gotta get TikTok.
Somebody can go live. You can go live and you can record what's going on from under your desk, from around the corner, from wherever.
Yeah, I like what you just said there because you made it a realistic, like, I got more followers on TikTok than I do on Twitter or Instagram. So for that reason, I'll go TikTok live during this school shooting. I believe TikTok would take it down, but how quickly does it take for them to realize that it's a school shooting there? Yeah, that's a great reason.
Thank you, Tina. And like I said, he lives in the comfort of Canada, so that's why it's so easy to just brush off.
Please stop doing that.
That's what it is, though. That's why it's so easy for you to brush it off and
No,
be like,
you
"Oh,
didn't
come
say
on,"
TikTok
or the
live until
TikTok
now.
thing or what? But what else for? Why else would I want my child to have these apps?
I don't know,
to
but
stay informed?
when I asked about it and when I was talking about it,
It's one
it
of
took
the
you a while to
leading
get to
causes
TikTok
in
live.
the U.S.
I think
So
TikTok
that
live is
why I
valid.
said use these things. We here are living with it. We here are watching commercials of our students and our
Now you're
loved ones'
doing the
kids
emotions.
going back. No, it's not an emotion thing. Yeah, actually, you know what? You're right. It is an emotion thing because I didn't know those kids in New Mexico. I cried because I'm sick of watching kids get gunned down in the U.S. over senseless gun violence.
Yeah, sure. I
And
agree.
There it is again. Sure.
Terrible.
There it is again. Sure, as if it's just some
No.
roll off deal.
The reason I'm sure.
So yes, I'm gonna throw emotion in it because it is an emotional conversation.
Is because every time I'm here trying to bring the conversation about what apps should be allowed, what can and can't work at the conversation that I'm having, you bring it back to glorifying how bad the school deaths are. I'm here. I'm like having a conversation based on, well, what do we do then? And you're just like, school shootings are so bad. Yes.
No, your answer
That's what's
for
happening.
it. Your answer for it is cut it all out. If you only be able to text your parents, only be able to do this. No social media. You need to block this, black out that. I'm sorry. If I'm a parent, I have a 9 to 5. What if I'm not always fucking reachable?
What? What if you're not always reachable? What do you mean?
So you said you want them to be able to black out the apps. Don't have the apps. Don't have Instagram. Don't have these.
I'm
live
suggesting this.
Yes,
and you can change my mind with
so
something.
That's a suggestion. Your suggestion is that blah blah. That's what they're doing. Okay, so to be able to only have contact with text message, to be able to only contact or phone call, to be able to call me, text me, or whatever. Not everybody's always reachable. I don't know how many times we have maybe been in personal situations, maybe a flat tire, ran out of gas, stranded somewhere. I don't know, where you've called 5 different people. Ain't nobody answer their phone. But see, you have the luxury of being stranded. Nothing. I might be in harm. They always ask you, are you in danger? Are you pulled to the side? I don't know, but no one's chasing me with a gun. If there's a shooter in the school with a gun and I do not have access to the outside world, I only have access to my contacts. My contacts are also living a fucking life, 9 to 5s. I can't get a hold of anybody. You've limited me from the outside world. I'm dead. That's the point. You're not going to limit my child or tell me that I pay the fucking bill, what I can and cannot do with the phone while they're in a building for 8 hours to 9 hours a day away from me. That's crazy. That's the point.
Okay. Pokemon Go is an app on a phone. I'm sure right now in a classroom as we're speaking, there's a kid catching Pokemon right now. Can you justify that app being used, or Candy Crush, or some of the things that we do on our phone that are distracting from our teachers?
We can't monitor everybody.
You couldn't give me that?
Nope, I can't, because we can't monitor everybody's phones, because it's always going to come back to what I told you about the shooting.
How does Pokemon Go help in a school shooting?
I didn't say that Pokemon Go helped in a school shooting. I didn't say that. I said we can't monitor all the apps, but the other apps that I named, the ones that do help in those situations. Now, what you're doing on Pokemon Go, I can't monitor that. But I'd rather you plan on Pokemon Go and live to tell me about it than you plan on Pokemon Go and get shot in the fucking face. And I'm like, oh, damn, my child's gone.
But it's not an either or. I'm suggesting that Pokemon Go, the apps themselves, they actually do have like restrictions and rules, places where to go, places where Pokemon will not spawn because it's private property. So that doesn't encourage people going to certain places. And they can get with the school board and say, please don't make it so that Pokemon's can be played here. Like, please make it a blackout area. Please make it dead. Please make it oh, look, you can't, because the GPS, which it does have, it has location, says you can't play here. That saves the teachers for at least whatever student is addicted to that game. And you can do that to other games too. The social media stuff, which you mentioned, the TikTok Live is a great example of why TikTok Live should be okay to do. I'm with it. I said you should restrict, you should have, well, you can still call your parents. And you said, well, what about parents are busy? What about calling the uncle? Okay, or calling those, whoever it could be on that context. Should we restrict that? No, we shouldn't restrict that, Darius. It'd be great to have in a emergency situation. Yeah.
I didn't say restrict that. I said not everybody's
I,
always available.
yeah, they're not always available. And I was saying earlier that we can make it so that only the guardians can be called on a phone. And we can like kid proof the phone or school proof the phone. And you're saying, no, don't restrict on anyone that you can call. Fine, you're right. Let's keep that. But you gotta have a teacher in this a teacher's perspective, at least, in this conversation that we're having now.
I mean, I know what a teacher would say though. It's, it's hard for me to, in 2025, it's hard for me to wrangle my class or whatever, or get people on their phones or whatever. But I also think that comes to the teacher. I mean, obviously you can't tell every kid what to do. Every kid's going to have their, but it's also how you run your classroom. Are you soft? Have you laid the rule down? And when I say that, doesn't mean people aren't going to still bring their phones out. I had teachers that had no phone policies as well. That did not stop me from bringing out my phone. But it doesn't mean I sat on my phone for the entire 48 minutes in that class. It just like Tina said too, that's inevitable. Like
did you
they're going
consider
to be on their phones?
Some of these kids, when they were 5 years old, the iPhone 7 was already out. So now here we go to seeing them in their in their teenage lives. The phone is critical to them. They don't, the teachers back in our days, hey, get a scientific calculator out. Now it's get out your phone because we got to do sine and cos and tan and whatever else it was that you do with the scientific calculator in math class. The phones are going to be out. It's unavoidable. But the apps that we let them stay on is avoidable. If TikTok Live, but that's the thing, TikTok would ban. They would say, whoop, school shooting, that's against our terms of service, and they would shut down the live stream if they find out that you're live streaming a school shooting on their website.
Yeah. If there's a way that they could, sure, block individual apps. Yeah, you want to go on, you want to block game apps, sure. So where
Do we need
kids
a
can't
school
get on
shooting
that.
app? Do we need a school shooting safety app then?
That's it. Just the fact that but see, again, this is the conversations we be having over here. The fact that even has to be a topic is disgusting. It's disgusting.
Where we are.
The fact that we have to even be discussing safety apps and gun apps and this and that for children to go to school is disgusting. I am so glad I don't have a kid. God, I'm so glad I don't have a kid. I be looking at people from my graduating class with families and on their fourth kid. And I'm like, not just financially in this world, but you are in charge of another human being's life. And I would be a crazy parent, not like strict on my kid, but crazy as in like this phone stuff. I'd be protesting. I'd be up there. First of all, I paid this motherfucking bill. And now, unless you want me to send you the bill monthly, sure, you can tell them whatever the fuck you want to do with the phone. I pay this motherfucker monthly. So while my kid is out of my care or whatever the other rule, I'd be that parent. I'm that parent. Like, because I heard them talking about it on the radio. These parents in Texas, because I guess it's implemented in Texas as well. These parents in Texas were talking about it, talking about nah, this is crazy. And I agree. It's crazy. I just don't. I'm glad I don't have a kid. I wouldn't want a kid. I wouldn't want to be raising a kid in today's world at all. And that's not even just the phone thing.
I'm glad I didn't have to deal with phones and things like now.
Go to that DM.
We're still live. Back to school essentials. I already know I'm not going to like it.
Now, mind you, this is a commercial that is, I don't remember what year it came out, but it still gets played.
This year, my mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
These colorful binders help me stay organized.
These headphones are just what I need for studying.
These new sneakers are just what I need for the new year.
Oh, whoa.
This jacket is a real must-have.
My parents got me the skateboard I wanted. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so when we have the conversation about telling my kid to drop a phone in a box before
These
class, and you're
can be a real
advertising
lifesaver.
this for the school year,
Wait, so this is
that's
a real
our
commercial?
reality.
This is
Yeah,
a real
this-
commercial?
yes.
This is a brand?
I don't know if this is a brand. I don't know who did this.
I finally got my own phone to stay in touch with my mom.
Mm-hmm. Right. So fuck you. You're not gonna tell me to tell my kid to drop a phone in a box before I don't see him or her for 8 hours to 9 hours a day. That's the reality of America's schools.
I promise, man, you're missing the intention of me. Wait, why did you ask me to play the video? Why did you play the video? What was the reason for it?
It was to more points to what I was making there. That's the reality. That is the reality.
Yeah. I return to I'm having a talk about making teachers.
I know what you're saying.
All right.
But there's just no, unless you can individually pinpoint a Pokemon Go app or Candy Crush app.
So you can't. So you want that? You're with me. Pokemon Go.
Sure.
Candy Crush.
Sure. If you can pinpoint those, I never was saying that those apps were essential to being in school. What I was saying was, you're not going to shut down the app store on my kid's phone to where then they cannot go live or cannot do any of this or cannot do any of that. Because again, if I work a 9 to 5 and I'm trying to provide for, if I have one kid too, even if it's just one mouth to feed in today's society on top of my mouth to feed, you're not going, and I have a 9 to 5 and I can't answer my phone. It's just like there's too many variables. There's too many variables. So you're not going to tell me to tell my child to drop a phone in a box.
Yeah, I agree. It's there for safety reasons. Now, I'd say invent a safe phone with safe everything, safe apps, safe.
And I see even what Tony's saying. That's fine. But do you know did we not just see a commercial? Anything that could, I'm assuming you live in America too. Anything can happen in between those moments. Brother, if you want to take it back to one of the very first ones that the videos is still chilling to this day. We're not watching it here, but chilling to this day. The Columbine videos. That is chilling to this day. Watching those security videos of them gunning down kids running in the hall, laughing about it. So the moments you named, recess, in between class, between those free periods. So in between those moments when they're not free, what's stopping the gunmen? What's stopping them from being able to, now my child has to belly crawl to the box in their phone, get the phone out the box, unlock their phone, then call me? Do you see how crazy this sounds? And it would be different if they would just make better gun laws. But it's not the guns problem, it's the people. That's what they say.
All right. So yeah, that's a great solution to have, to make it so that these automatic weapons, you can keep the ones that single fire, but the automatic ones that are used for war guns should not be allowed to be just bought on a Tuesday.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. Let's rewind to Kyle Rittenhouse, who stepped over state lines during 2020 and decided with his assault rifle that he was going to shoot someone. It doesn't matter in America like that. He crossed state lines because people were protesting, killed them, and got off free because it wasn't his fault. So the dude that went into the New Mexico school, in Laddie saying she's a substitute teacher. We didn't give subs respect, so I don't expect a sub to get any respect from a classroom or anything like that. So I don't think that argument's valid at all. But it takes it back to what I've been saying. In between those free moments, what do? For those of you that haven't seen Columbine, I encourage you, for educational purposes to this conversation, go watch them gun down those high school kids. Go watch those kids hiding under the cafeteria tables. Go watch the boys with the guns laughing as they're spraying kids. That shit's not funny. And not only is I know no one's laughing, but it's not something that you can just take so light and say, oh, we just got to take their phones. No, you do not. Take the guns. Talk about taking the phones.
So
take the guns.
So Tony's suggestion of putting the phones away in the box, you're saying that in the moments that it would take, or even the 1 second it would take to get to the teacher's desk, get out of the box and all that, could be life and death in that moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're dealing with a person that probably has a weapon that you would be seeing. Not what do they call them? Because I'm not even a gun person. So,
automatic.
Yeah, sure, an automatic weapon. So yeah, they're coming in with automatic weapons and gunning children down.
All right.
Uvalde, was that the Mexico one?
Yeah, the school board can't do anything about that. They can't. Well, so what? Then can we punish the kids who are using their phones in classrooms and like, yo, that's strike one, yo, that's strike two, strike three, strike, and like, what do you do then? Detention? I guess that's already in place, right? How do we take away your lunch if you? What do you do there? How do you discourage them from using their phones?
I don't know. I think every school is different on what they said. What Laddie said there. They're not in a box in the classroom. They take them at the building. I know because I think it's different everywhere. In Texas, they're putting them in bags, Ziploc baggies. I guess it really depends on the school. But
if there's a state that doesn't need that, it's Texas.
But I'm just like, I don't. It's really just not a. How do you do it? How do you do it? Again, we're sitting here having the conversation, like Raymond just said, facts, agreeing to what I said about we're talking about phones. We're worried about the wrong thing. We're having all these conversations. Even this debate. I'm sure it's not the only debate because they were having a debate about it on the radio too. But we're talking about phones. Get rid of the guns first. I get what you're saying. The phones are the issue at hand in the classroom. But
yeah, I'm coming at it from a perspective of how hard it is for teachers to teach a class when kids have phones in their hands. That's my thing.
But then I have to take it back to, I guess, then when you were in school, were
there was
kids on the phone the entire time, like the whole 60 minutes?
Not everybody, but anyway, no. The answer is no. For the whole 60-minute class, no one is on their phone the whole time.
Well, that's my point.
Unless it's like a supply teacher or not, but generally no.
Well, that's my point. I don't think that these kids are on their phones the entire class.
But half the class, yeah. For 50% of the classroom, they're going to be on their phones, they're dicking around if they can.
I don't know what the answer would be then.
A teacher is supposed to know exactly how to, but the phones are right there. And if I get a ping, you know how badly I want to look at that Snapchat. Like I'm on my phone straight up. Oh, it's cool, and then I gotta reply, and then I'm in a conversation now about some stupid thing that got snapped to me, and I'm not one of 20 students. Yeah, the phones are a huge problem, and we got to do something about it.
I don't know. I need to see. I guess I don't have an answer for what the answer would be, other than if you could pinpoint certain apps individually. But I don't think the answer is taking phones for the day. I do not. Not if we didn't live in the America that we live in, sure. But when every year you're having to prep, there are some parents and people that have to prep their kids, like have like meet me here if something happens, do this if something happens, or having to have these conversations before each school year. If we weren't having to do that with kids, maybe. But the fact that that is a very real thing, it just makes you taking my child's phone a big red flag.
Yeah. Just the answers in the technology. Phones have airplane mode. There could be a classroom mode, and it can make it to where a teacher would be happy. No Pokemon Go.
Yep, you could do that. Like I said, if you could pinpoint these apps that they're playing on Pokemon Go, are kids playing Candy Crush, or whatever the fuck else,
Tetris, whatever they play,
then sure. But I'll tell you what, if it were my child, and again, I'm so glad I do not have children, but if it were my child and there was something that was to happen due to, to my child during a school shooting or whatever, something like that, maybe not even a school shooting, but something happens to where my kid can't get to me, and then I lose my child over that.
Yeah. What? There was an allergic reaction that my kid was having, and I couldn't reach. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, because see, I'm coming up to the school, and at that point, like I said, as a parent, you would assume that that's the most precious thing you've ever. I've heard my mother say plenty of times to my siblings, "We are her everything." If something was to happen to us, she doesn't know if she could survive. Things like that. So if something was to happen to my child because of you and your rule, oh, I'm coming up there and I'm spraying the office. I'm spraying everybody.
And he's joking, YouTube. And he's joking, YouTube.
Sure.
On the app, on the restrictions that I'm saying, yeah, I'm just saying, like, as if the answer to the restriction is, well, in a school shooting it'll hurt, fine, then don't add that restriction. Let's think of another solution to this, where in an emergency situation, you can prove to me it's necessary. And there are some things that our phones do that I don't like. Calculator, great app, right? I'm looking at podcasting though. There's no podcast that should be allowed during you know what I mean? Spotify is not that important to have, and I don't need these kids bumping music when I'm trying to teach a lesson or when it's supposed to be work time. There's lots of apps that we can say classroom mode.
I'm different. I agree to that, but I also don't agree on the music part. I'm not saying you need to be listening to music while the teacher's teaching, but some people work better because the teacher's not talking the entire 60 minutes. I don't know how long everybody's been removed from high school, but I know I haven't been removed from school that long. The teacher's not talking the entire 60 minutes. Sometimes she didn't even fucking talk. Sometimes it's like here's what you do. So for that time, some people work better with music. Some people work better with people have different learning abilities. I'm not a person that you can tell me. You have to physically show me.
You can bring a note saying you're one of the I learn better with music kids, bro. Yes, sure.
I don't think that requires a note. That doesn't require a note. If the teacher's not talking for the whole 60 minutes and you want to put your headphones in while you're working, who is that? If it was my classroom, I wouldn't make that be my thing. Sure, I'm not talking. Who the fuck are you hurting by listening to music while you're working? Who are you hurting? And I think that's one of the things that we have a problem with some of these kids with. Like, I'm not saying that kids give them so much freedom, but meet some of these kids on their fucking level. Like, maybe it's me because I was a coach and I've been around youth and I've, at one point wanted to even kind of be a teacher. But meet some of these kids, bro. Like, that's why y'all have problems with some of these motherfuckers, because y'all aren't meeting some of these children. And when I worked for Irving Middle School here in Norman, it's considered the ghetto school in Norman, the black school, because the east side of Norman is where most of the black folks live. So it's the ghetto. It's considered the ghetto school in Norman. I worked there. I changed, and now, you never know the impact you're making on a kid's life until you see it or they tell you or whatever. But, and I'm only going to use this kid as an example. There's plenty of kids I could use. There's one kid was there, black little boy. He was a twin. His twin was actually, as I said, there's always a good twin, always a bad twin. His twin was really good. He wasn't the best. And he had to take these pills every morning to level. I don't remember what exactly pills were, level him out or whatever. He came in on one morning because what was the counselor took his hat, told him he couldn't have his hat, took his hat for the, can't have your hat, blah, 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 blah. So he's tearing stuff off the walls, not going to class, blah, blah, blah. Teachers are in a meeting. I have my walkie. I go out there because they're on the walkies talking about, well, I'm not going to say his name, but oh, they're out there and they're doing this and blah, 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 blah. So I go out there, talk to Brad, get Brad to calm down. And I told him, if I can get your hat, will you go to class? And if you can't wear it, but if I can give you your hat, will you just go to class, please, Brad, and stop doing da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
Go in there, talk. They're in a meeting. Go into the office. Go into their meeting. It's the principal, some other principals, counselors, blah blah blah. I explained to the head principal what's going on, and the counselor that took the hat is like, "Well, if we give it to him, we're giving him what he wants, and this and that, and blah 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 blah." It's not so much that you're giving him what he wants. The way it was described to me, you came and yanked the hat off Brad's head. How fucking disrespectful, one. I don't care if it's a kid or not. That's disrespectful as fuck. Because if it was me, that's why I was always suspended. Because if it was me, you would have got cussed the fuck out. You're not going to rip my... And as the parent, I would have come up there and cussed you out after my child did. I would have gone on my child for cussing you out, but I would have cussed you out for him as well. Don't yank shit off my kid's head. That's disrespectful as fuck. You can ask him to take the hat off. But yanking it, that was disrespectful. So explain that whole thing to them, blah, 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 blah. So the head principal, after we had that little back forth, said, you know what? I'm in charge. It's fine. Give him the hat as long as he doesn't put it on, blah, blah, blah. Brad was cool the rest of the day. It's sometimes meeting some of these kids on a human level instead of looking at them as children or not as smart as you or wise as you or whatever. Just fucking meet them on their level. And then maybe they might put their fucking phones up. Just me.
I don't think Chill's chat like school shooter or maybe guns. Yeah, if you're using words that are not YouTube friendly, then yes. It's a blocked term that you're using. So did any trailers come out or anything?
I don't think
so.
so.
There's a show on Tubi called Damascus, which I'm supposed to watch. It's science fiction.
No, nothing's been out. I haven't heard of Damascus, but nothing's out.
Then until tomorrow.
Besides that clip of, but I don't think we can watch that. The Conjuring. I think they'll flag that.
We'll see what was flagged today. It's always something.
Of course, of course. Well, that's it then, because I don't think there's anything else. Like I said, don't see anything here from anyone. No.
Thanks for coming. Hit the thumbs up button and make sure you watch more from these channels, Planet Fanatics and Chillmonger. It's the morning report with updates and consistency, and then talking about school and what we do with these phones. But yeah, that's it.
Def, so you're new here. If you liked what you saw, of course, subscribe, like the video. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to come over. We do this, like I said, like he said, every morning, Monday through Friday. Thursdays is Pantheon stream with Marcus at Back of the Bus. Subscribe to them. And we'll be back tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. Have a blessed day. Be safe. And we will see you all in the next one.